Hello, hello. Welcome to the second part of my ERBS Mahjong tournament. And today, unlike last time, I am joined by my fellow commentator typewriter Formene.
Hello, hello. Good to see everybody.
So, first of all, I'll remind of the groups that finished yesterday's as the winners. I think I should have it like this. Why doesn't it show? 1 second. Technical difficulties. I'll click this. Oh, I know why. Yeah, okay, this should fix it. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday we had Sona Superior from the first group getting onto the semifinals. Shou-chan and Borgus as well from the second group. Now today we have the third and the fourth group. We'll have 4 more people getting to the next stage. 1 second, let me just do something real quick. I forgot. Okay, should be better. Now, let's look at our current participants. First of all, from Group C, the group we'll be having in a bit, we have Stimoro. Stimoro is a known and lovable EU player. He's gonna play as Reina. Now, as much as you see her right now with the wheelchair, I'm pretty sure he bonded her, so she's free of her wheelchair. Adept 3, favorite Yaku Pinfu, already shows pretty good promise. Pinfu is a good Yaku to get when you're making fast hands, closed ones. He has almost 400 East games and some South. Now, he has been trying to do more South lately, but it's still a good amount of games. Now, even though he's silver, I've watched some games of his, he has pretty good defense principles. And that's something big. Yesterday we didn't see much of the defense. We've seen some people kind of panic. Wait, it's Timor in Group D. Wait, did I make a mistake with the groups? Let me check real quick. You're right. I didn't do it right. My bad. Stimor is not supposed to be. Stimor is Group D. I think it's because I moved him in one of the groups at one time. To remind myself, let's just go back here and I'll show the group. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Got confused there for a bit. Okay, so this is Group C. Sorry, I'll introduce them in a second. We have Chill, Leko, Mizukaze, and Passant. Let me make sure I have them arranged correctly here. Clearly something that I missed. Mizukaze. Okay, better now. Remember, Stimor will be in Group D. I'll finish his introduction then. Okay, let's go back to the actual participants. We have Chill Scorpion. He is a new player, still at novice. I don't know, maybe he made it to adept if he played a bit more games. But he already got Ayako, which is good. Wailing is very important in this game. His favorite Yaku is 7 pairs. Pretty good one we didn't see, I think, at all yesterday. He's also a Scorpion, so that will help him a lot. Our second player would be Leko. Leko is a pretty scary player. He's been playing for a while. He's also French, so be wary of that. His favorite Yaku is Double Richie, which is a gacha RNG kind of Yaku, but maybe we'll get it and it will just get him the big hand that he wanted to. He has high call rate, and probably because of that, high dealing rate. That means he just punch, open his hand, and throw caution to the wind. Sometimes it works though, because all those pawns did give him big 3 dragons in ranked, and also he got 4 concealed triplets. I said so yesterday, this is one of the easier Yakumans to get. That we will see a lot of players aiming for. Our third player of the group is Mizukaze. He's Adept 1, favorite Yaku double pure sequence. A lot of people like that one, especially newer players. He will be using Nana. I don't think he has a bonded outfit of one of the new outfits she got, but I love Nana, and you know, one of the Celestials people also love Nana, so clearly she's just a very strong Jinyashi. He didn't play that many games, but he already started playing South games, which is good. And usually most of his hands are Richie with good scores, which is usually something I advise to new players. Now, let's go to the fourth person, also a new player into the game, Passant. Now, Tapot, you probably know him better than I do, because I don't play much in ERBS. But he is Novice 3. His favorite Yaku is 13 offense. We almost saw Superior get that yesterday. Again, might not be Novice 3. I didn't really check if they advanced after that. And also tier players are just good at Mahjong. He chose with me, he chose with Leko. Tier players are talented. So I can see him doing well today. Do you have any takes on one of those players, Typewriter?
It'll definitely be very interesting. I think with Kaze, it'll be very interesting to see how effective the Ricci strategy will be, depending on how skilled everybody else is in terms of defense and making sure they don't deal in, or if we're going to see some more games from yesterday where people will just be pushing, trying to make their own hand happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious just how much his Ricci habits are going to be. We did say yesterday a lot of people really liking that closed hand, even to the point of ruining their hand. Like, there is correct calls to make. I don't think they should know that, but sometimes you are sabotaging your hand by not making a call. Those times are rare, but it takes some time and experience to know when those situations actually happen. Okay.
Definitely.
Now, something I wanted to show from yesterday, one of the prizes we have is $30 for the highest scoring hand. So I did want to show the highest scoring hand from yesterday. This will be the hand to beat, so to say. Gotten by Sona. I think I can check one of the logs here. Yeah, it was in the second game.
$81,000 points. The
No,
perks of games
was
not ending.
24,000 points. It was this hand. So Sona had Ricci with a can. Now, usually this hand won't be that big. Like, it is the dealer, it is very high mini points because of the can and the other triplet in the hand. But there is only 3 hands we can count on. Because of the high mini points, it will be minimum handgun. But because of all the cans, there is a lot of possible Uradoras. And as we saw, Sona got pretty lucky with hers. Not something you see a lot. Ura 7. You can see in the hidden Dora that both the green dragon revealed the 4 red dragons of hers as Uradora, but also the 4 Uradora revealed the 5 on her as also Ura. So that's 7. It's almost Sun by Man. Now, it is kind of unlucky that she didn't make it to Sun by Man. Sun by Man will be 32k, which will mean it's on par with Yakuman hands. But it's not. So to beat Sona's hand, either you need to also get Baiman as the dealer, and that will even things out. You'll be in the same spot. You can get a Sun Baiman, which is 11 or 12 hand, as not the dealer. And to pass her, you need either a Sun Baiman as the dealer, or any kind of Yakuman, dealer or not dealer. Any kind of Yakuman is from 32k points, and that will already beat it. Though we don't have that many games. We only have 4 games today. And in the semifinals, qualifiers, and the finals, we will have more, but there isn't that many games. Getting a 24k hand might be just the biggest hand we'll see. I hope we'll see at least one more Yakuman, but I find it hard to believe it will go over 24 or 32k.
Absolutely. There are not a whole lot of games to be able to make the push for the monstrous Yakuman hands, unless you get a really good deal.
Okay, so we do have some of the participants ready. We are missing just a few more, but a few minutes we'll be able to get into it. Get back into the tournament lobby. So just like yesterday, there will be 5 minutes we'll have to wait before the game. Obviously, stream sniping will be a problem if everyone could see the game as it starts and just by clicking the stream. So in a few minutes, they'll all get into the game by themselves. They'll start playing, and in 5 minutes, it will show us from the start of the game. So just to remind, maybe I should go over the rules just one more time in case anyone forgot. Or maybe one of the participants is going to look at them now, kind of not sure what exactly they're getting into. So it's basically a ranked rule set. there isn't many stuff that won't be in ranked, aside from two very big things. So we'll have the same amount of ticking time, starting points, same amount of Dora, same amount of Richie points and note and penalties. All the kind of draws. There won't be any special rules that sometimes you see in tournaments that you don't see on ranked. But there is something special. First of all, there is no busting. That means if someone goes negative, unlike in ranked, the game will not end. The game will continue. Now, this is big because it means that games will be not only long, but also will encourage more streaking. If just like we saw yesterday, someone like Sona will just streak hands, they can just kill everyone on the board, get a huge lead, and if they like maybe had a bad first game or just making sure their second game is safer, then they'll just can win with only one game, but just having one really good game. And at the same time, someone going really negative could ruin all of their games if they bust a bit too hard. And at the same time, to make that even bigger, if the first place dealer at all last, meaning the last round, wins, it also won't end the game. Usually when the first place dealer wins, it won't streak again, it will just end the game because he got first place. But here, even though you got first place, you might want to get more points. So that's why your win as the dealer will not end it. We have a bit higher UMA than usual tournaments. Placements matter a lot. If you can make like the jump between third and second place, will be 20 points. That's a lot. And 20 points just to make it like into normal points. It's like someone getting 20k more points in their match. That's very big. If you can get like maybe one small hand to change your placement, it's probably better than aiming for something too crazy. Let's see.
Absolutely. With these settings, there's always a chance for a comeback. So there's no time to be discouraged. I know sometimes in some ranked games and normal games, you'll see players deal in on a bad tile, and get hit really hard with points, and then just leave the game.
Yeah,
happens all the way up through Jade Room as well. But here in the tournament, everything is up for grabs still.
Yeah, yesterday we had a few people getting depressed. It's hard to not get depressed when you're like in the last game and you're just very negative, the dealer constantly streaking you. And yeah, there is some stages where the chances of comeback are probably less than like 0.1%. But as long as you got one more dealer turn, your chances are actually good. So just don't feel too hard, get your dealer turn, and then hold on to it. Get every tempo you can, and just keep going. And eventually, your hand won't be 1k because you'll get a crazy hand that's worth 24k.
Absolutely. It's a slow grind until you can strike it big here in Mahjong.
I think we are missing one person right now. Let me check who it is. We are missing Lek. Let me check where he is. Let me check. We got Lego. Let me check just how many people are right now in queue. Two of them, so just two more queuing and the game will start. So the two people with the highest total score from the two games we'll have right now, and the other two from the next group we'll have, they will join the four other people in the semi-finals. When will the semi-finals happen? I'm not completely sure. I'm going to check after we know all the semi-finalists, just when they can do it. I don't wanna just say a date and then one of them can't. We'll try to maybe have it on the next weekend, but I can try to adjust, so I'll check in with them and then I'll let everybody know just what days the semi-finals gonna be. It's probably gonna be two groups in the semifinals, which we don't know right now which person will be in each other's group, but you'll know soon enough. From them, it's the same rules. In the semifinals, there will also be the top two advancing, so we will have only 4 in the finals. The amount of game in the semifinals, it will either be 2 or 3, I'm not sure yet. In the finals though, there will for sure be either 3 or 4 games. I don't want to go too long. We saw yesterday games can go very, very long. So I also like to keep the format with a small amount of games. The lower amount of games we have, the more RNG shows and the more chance there is of those new players beating those slimy expert street players.
Absolutely. When you get the longer tournaments, the more games going, it turns Mahjong definitely into more of an endurance game to see if you can keep up your concentration and your focus for even longer periods of time. Even for someone experienced, it can definitely be a drag to be playing more games just in a row, especially if the first ones may not have gone your way, and you're a little bit demoralized, a little bit upset that the Mahjong gods have forsaken you.
So actually, and percent about still at novice. Usually in novice, it's really hard to go backwards. I don't think you can demote and you barely lose points. The rates are really in your favor. So it's mostly someone in bronze just shows that he has played a limited amount of hands. How many? I'll probably say either of them played between 20 to 30 East games. That's a really small amount. Either they got information from doing other things, or we'll see them playing somewhat crazy today, as new players might do. Yuzukaze has a good amount of games, even though Silver won. Leko though, he might just sweep this group. But at the same time, a lot of people are like, oh, the highest rank wins. But that's not usually the case. I can say that I've did a lot of friendlies with my friends in EU, and a lot of them are Silver. And I'm Saint 2. I'm one of the better players on the server. And I was losing to them most of the time. Now, was I trolling? No. I was playing normally. And in the end, it's a luck-based game. I can play perfect versus a 2-year-old baby. If he knows how to click one button, he will win the whole game against 3 people that are much better than him. So that could be the case for Chill or Passant. They can just get the free hand. They could get Sumo on the first turn, giving them 32k points. They can get other crazy things. They can just pawn random stuff. They can random stuff and get free shiny tiles, the Dora tiles, and get crazy hands. It's all possible, and Leko might just he might try to maybe expect other things from them, as he may be more used to the gold room standards. But bronze players, they don't play by rules.
Absolutely. It's always a surprise when you are playing one way, you're trying to play something like defensively, anything like that, and you just get randomly hit by someone who just decided to wait on a completely random tile, and you're just sitting there afterwards, just shaking your head. Why would you do this? There was one tile left, it was a hell wait, there's no reason you should ever be waiting here, and yet you deal in and lose 20,000 points.
Yeah, most defense principles are sadly just, this is less likely to deal in. You can always find the madman, somehow made the most unlikely way it happen. And sometimes that would be called maybe a trap wait, maybe it was done on purpose. But a lot of times it is just random with the newer players, and you can't really expect what going on in their hand. I do hope that they will close their hand and not pawn too much, because a lot of the newer players don't really know how Yakus work. I don't want to see someone getting stuck in no Yaku, just doing random pawns and cheese. I hope at the very least that they can open their Yaku list that there is on the top right in their screen, and then just see, okay, I just do all triplets, or I'll just get this dragon. There is outs after you open your hand, but it's a lot easier to just keep it closed. That's what I always say to newer players. I didn't really get to tell that to Passant, because I was more coaching the more EU players, but I do think Chill knows to keep his hand closed. You can also see
Definitely.
both Passant and Chill already having titles, showing their whaleness.
Absolutely. No cat food suppliers in this lobby, but it's always it's a journey to get there, slowly but surely. As they release more collab events, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah. In this game,
But
it's kind
absolutely,
of how to waste money if you're doing it correctly. There is a lot of like, you get to double the value if you're doing it like the first purchase of the year. There is like jade charms that you get daily coins instead of just one purchase. If you're smart with your money, you can be like me with like 20 bonded characters and like a lot more other characters and still not getting to the Protector of the Cat Kingdom title, the maximum whale title. But a lot of times there is just that one collab, there is those 4 characters and you can't get the one you want and you just have to keep spending more and more because the collab ends tomorrow and you don't have any more of those like double deals. So you're just paying $30 for like 10 pulls and then $30 for 10 pulls and you keep going until your wallet drains.
absolutely, it can get pretty crazy.
Is there a bracket somehow for the qualifiers? I can tell you, I have showed it a bit in the start of the stream. We already have Sona, Superior, I think Borkus and Shouchan advancing to the semifinals. In this group, as we see, we have Chill, Leko, Passant, and Yuzukaze. The two top of them will advance to the semifinals. And in the next group, I believe we have Stimoro, Neil, Tatufo, and let me get the last person name, and Kion. Okay, the game did start. As yesterday, I'm gonna show in the hands and the dealing tile, make things a bit more easier. So, Lek already getting 3 shiny tiles in his hand that he could very much make into a workable hand, and that's pretty scary for an expert 1 player. Yuzukaze's hand seems even faster than Leko, a really fast hand that with this crazy draw, I think he's already... No, he's not 1 away, he's 2 away I think, but he's gonna get probably Richie, Tani or Pinfu, especially if he keeps the hand closed. And Passant, what is this hand? Is this like new player luck?
It's looking real good. He's lined up perfectly for a really solid and sizable Honitsu hand, half flush hand, with Dragon as well as the East Wind. So we're looking at a very strong potential for a Magon plus hand coming out from Hassan.
And the thing is with those half flash hands, they're really new player friendly. You don't really need that to think that hard about how to do them. When you only have tiles of the same color, they always work out. And he's already 1 away. Either he pawns the green dragon or the east. I don't know if he knows that he should do it. Or Chi maybe the 8 bamboo. He's already in Tenpai for potentially Mangan. Right now it won't be Mangan. He does need the 2 of both the dragon and the east to make it Mangan. But also 5.2k would be nothing to sneeze about.
He does have a backdoor into a pure straight hand as well. Although it looks like he's going to open his hand and aim for a regular Honitsu with just east and or green
But he
dragon.
did slow his hand by a lot by pawning this 3 bamboo. His hand was actually already finished with a 2-3-4 bamboo and a 3-4-5. But he seems just taking the pawns. It will make his hand have even more value, but he slowed it down by a bit. It's still 1 away, thanks to his 2 pawns. And Yuzukaze did actually get Tenpai, a very scary Tenpai. This is all simples, Pinfu, Dora, and either double pure straight with the 8, or the other Dora, which is the 5-man. At any case, this will be almost 8k points. And if it sumos, there is a good chance of 12k.
Or if he hits the red 5, there's always a chance.
Oh yeah, and the red 5, correct. Seems like Leko is taking the more safe approach. Dropping the 5 he maybe wanted to use, but just to be safe. His hand is not that bad, but it's a bit hard to chase when you're that far away from Tenpai. Who and does that 5 we were talking about? Leko with Dora 4 might convince him to push even after all. Or Leko just hoarding all of the winning tiles.
Yuzukaze is gonna be very upset once he sees Leko's hand if they ever review this VOD.
In that Tenpai from
San has
Busan,
also reached Tenpai as well. Yeah.
following the 8 bamboo on Leko's hand. Leko's hand is showing more dealing tiles than safe tiles. Can he actually make the correct decision to not deal into any of them?
Absolutely. I think based on his experience, he will play around and play a little bit defensively against Yuzukaze's Richi, but it's always
there's
very
that
scary
5.
going against.
But I think he won't drop it because he might just drop the 2. Oh, no. He did
Oh
drop the 5.
こ
no!
のパイはうちがもらいますリーチピンフ
No,
タイ
Uradora.
ヤオ
So
ド
just
ラ
8k.
ドラマンガン
I would like to say that Chill did say what I said, and I hope they want to. He was going for a no Yaku hand without much way to fix it. So I would
Yes.
advise to keep those hands closed.
Definitely. There is always a chance that you can play for the end of round no 10 Tenpai payments. But it's always very risky because you are reducing the options of being able to play defensively.
Yeah, and obviously those kind of things don't really happen often. Either the last tile, winning of that, or winning the tile of after a can, winning the tile of after someone else canned. There is like very specific situations that you can get a win without having a Yaku, but those are really rare. You should not aim for them.
Under the sea or under the river, always a chance. I actually got hit pretty bad with one of those last night in one of my games. It was very frustrating.
Pasant seems to not
Yuzukaze
like,
is actually one away.
Yeah, Pasant was also on the way, but he decided not to be by killing his 7, 8, 9 Manzu.
Yes, definitely a very interesting decision. He might be trying to force some sort of all triple hand with the three bamboos.
Or maybe he's trying to go for something kind of full outside, but I guess the 3 bamboos wouldn't let him do that. At any case, that's really far. Any kind of triplet hand probably won't even happen this game unless he gets quite lucky. Leko is just trying to build, but it seems far. I really see Yuzukaze just getting Tenpai first here.
Yeah. With that call, Pasant is back to being one away, but his weights are the way he gets there is a little limited.
And we have to hope he does keep in the 1-2 pin. If he drops one of them, he will be back to 2 away.
Pasant with some regret having to drop that red 5 because he dropped that 5 of characters earlier.
Leko's hand slightly advancing. He did not take the 8-su pawn. That could have maybe get him a bit closer to Tenpai. He's choosing to keep his hand closed for now. He's the dealer, so you'd expect somewhat of aggressive plays, but at the same time, maybe he thinks, if I just play safe, all of those low ranked players will just kill themselves, which is a good strategy.
Definitely.
A big upgrade to Yuzukaze's hand. Not only the Dora, but also the Tribunbu now will finish it, giving it a very good chances of just getting Tenpai.
Well, the downside is, looks like all of them are in Pasant's hand. It might be a little hard to come by to make that happen.
One on the board, 3 in Pasant's hand, those Tribunbu won't be getting there. But, and 2 in Leko's hand. Actually, the 2-4-4-4, which is usually a great weight, we know it won't happen. There is only 1 Tribunbu Yuzukaze can draw.
Absolutely. His weights are drying up.
Chill getting somewhat close himself, being 2 away right now. Not a really good hand, but still a hand.
Yeah, Chill is slowly getting there. That 4-pin should help his hand a little bit. Looks like he might be going for a pure straight hand.
For Yuzukaze.
There's Rishi, and he throws the Dora. Confidence.
Will Leko pawn it? He did. He does have a pair, but the 4-man will have to leave his hand eventually, if he does want to get Tenpai. And that's will deal in, even though this hand is probably has low value, it has high mini points.
Oh,
that's Tenpai is gonna deal in.
There it is.
Not
Not too big, but...
Oh, he got an Ura too, and because of the high mini points of the triplets, that adds up to quite a big hand. Now, if he did not get lucky with his Uradora, this would only be like a 2k hand, but 6-400 hertz.
Leko already hitting the bottle.
Yuzuka's already looking great. If he just keeps that going, he won't even have to worry about the second game.
Yeah. Off to a very strong start. It doesn't look like too many hands starting out here are going to be that explosive. A lot of players are
Pers-
pretty far away from reaching any kind of tempai, but Leko
Percent,
does have a pretty quick out.
Percent is one away right now, actually, for pairs. And he does actually play for the pair hand. I don't know if it's an accident or on purpose. Pair hands are not that high value, but at the same time, they can accept tiles pretty easily. If he draws right now the Dora, he could accept it into his hand, and this hand can become in a hurry an Animan just for 12k.
That is very true. You have a much better eye for 7 pairs. It usually takes me a few rounds to recognize, oh wait, this is an option for me.
Yeah, 7 pairs is a lot of times
a couple pairs.
7 pairs is a lot of time kind of a trap, because you're trying to make those 4 pairs work in your hand so bad that you're just ruining the rest of the hand. Oh, and he did get the Dora draw. And still, he's just not dropping the pairs. I think at this point, it's a good idea to think that he is aware of the 7 pairs Yaku. And something, as you did talk about Suji, maybe it will work on Leko, but those 5-man drop does make double Suji traps.
That is very true. You always hope to be able to manipulate your opponents a little bit to finagle your way into a winning hand.
Now, Chill did open his hand. You will need to get rid of this 1 monsoon, just go for all simples. In any case, this hand is really far. Opening such a hand is usually risky and maybe a mistake. But if he just gets the good hands, maybe he can get away with a cheap hand instead of dealing in.
Definitely. Leko's done some good work, and Leko is almost there in terms of making his hand. Although one of the green dragons is now stranded in Chill's hand. We'll see whenever Chill decides to toss that, because I know he's probably gonna hold that for a while, trying to make up for his open hand.
I didn't expect Leko to drop the 8 bamboo there, throwing his acceptance for 6 and 9 bamboo, just to accept the 4 and 6 pin. But maybe he's just trying to get a more triplet based hand. Like, if he gets either the 1 more pair here, he can just go for all triplets. And with the ones he already has in hand, that's pretty high mini points.
Absolutely. He has the triplet green and triplet 1-pin terminal, so lot of foo hiding somewhere.
Even though Percent was 1 away from like the first few turns, it's just not finding the last pair. That's the worst thing about pair hands. Finding the last pair is very unlikely.
Definitely. It's always sad when you're just dropping tiles trying to make it through. Oh, Yuzakaze managed to make Tenpai. We'll see if he's gonna reach this. And he does. But on a worse weight, he doesn't opt for the 1-4 on his dealership, but just for the 4.
But he does accept the Dora this way. So choosing value over speed, it will be a bit hard to get this 4. Getting a 4-man will be difficult. And there we go, Passant got his last pair and is waiting on the Dora. That's a very scary wait. If it sumos this on this next draw, that will already be 12k, completely changing the game, making him first and Yuzuka second.
Absolutely. Very scary to get chased on your Richi.
Oh,
but he has to deal it instead.
Getting into the dealer is not pretty, especially when they got an Uradora. That's 700. Ouch.
Unfortunate.
Passant going down like Chill Leko to the mighty Yuzukaze, just ramping up more and more points.
Very, very true. An Adept 1 stormed the lobby.
Seems like Leko's hand is looking pretty good. A good 2 Doras, a chance for pure double sequence, and just already being 2 away. Now, could it be that he might want to open this hand, especially because all of the pairs have gotten.
Yeah, Passant's also rather close. Just a couple tiles away. We'll be able to make his hand as well.
Yeah, he's throwing the correct tiles, and his hand can accept the 6-man Dora. We do see the 3 of them are in other players' hands, so it probably won't happen for him. But being able to accept the shiny tile is a very big thing. Oh, and a great draw. Getting another triplet, being 1 away.
Let's see if anybody else can keep up with the same speed.
Chill's hands looks rather slow, but could become some kind of a triplet hand if he gets a pawn on the green dragon. But the green dragon will probably won't show up because it's stuck in Yuzuka's hand. A lot of times when there is a pair of a Yaku high tile like the dragon in 2 players' hands, they just both keep it, and both deny each other of Tenpai.
Absolutely. They're just griefing each other. Chill may end up seeing the unfortunate truth once he reaches the end of the game after Yuzakaze doesn't drop a single any of these green dragons. Yuzakaze is actually one away.
Yeah, he actually has a pair hand, so he can accept those green dragons.
Absolutely. That may be his ultimate plan. But we'll see what he does with this 6 of bamboo. Looks like he drops it.
And Leko also gets one away, and he can pawn this to Tenpai. Will he do it? But this does create a small problem. If he gets the 1 bamboo, he will become Furitan.
Lucky for him, Chill has 3 of them. So
That's true.
he can. There's
We can
a
change
low
his weight right
likelihood.
now, and he does decide to
okay.
change the weight. Now his hand might be a bit stronger.
Yuzakaze's in Ricci. Lekka's waiting for that 6 of characters, and
I don't think he will drop
we're
the
gonna
shiny
see
tile.
what Yuzakaze drops. Does he go for speed or does he go for the greed? He does.
So that's two. That's a possibility for double run. If one of those 2 other players drops the Dora, they will get round for more than like 20k points, because Yuzakaze's hand will be about 12k and Leko's hand will be about 8k. And there is a Khan making their hands possibly stronger. The chance of Chill getting Tenpai is low, but he just made everyone's hand stronger. And look at Yuzakaze's hand. Those 8 bamboo, new
2
Dora.
more Dora. And he gets another look at some more Ura underneath. This is very scary.
Yuzakaze's hand could be a dealer buyman, someone we saw yesterday, and might be on equal standings as Sona's hand of 24k. But we do know both of those players, their chance of actually finishing their hand is low. They are waiting on the last tile, the last 6-man Dora. Like was a bit of a wider wait, also waiting for the 3 bamboo.
There is only 1 of the 3 bamboo left in the wall, unfortunately. But for some of the cultists who swear by the 3 bamboo, the Sanzo, cult of Sanzo, it's always an option.
It is though also a very trappy wait. The 4 bamboos gone and the 2 bamboos are gone, and there it is!
悪いね。それ当たりだよ。
Someone stopped Yuzukaze and it was the gold one Leko. Sadly, it's not the 4k, the 8k hand we wanted if you would get the last Dora, but it's still a very nice hand for him. Usually a lot of good players will try to get a hand, a 3 or above hand. Usually when they get to like 2 shiny tiles in their hand, they'll just try to get Tenpai, not greeding too much for value. And it does work out. As long as Leko gets away with the 2nd place here, the next game is gonna be not that hard if he plays it safe.
Absolutely. Chill with a pretty fast deal, having pairs of 2 Yaku with both the east and the south, already getting a pawn on his seat win with the south call.
And also accepts the 2-pin Dora. Could work out great in his hand, and seems like he'll be the first one to get Tenpai. Passant has a pretty good hand, and he does accept the 6 into his hand, finishing the 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, so his hand is actually 1 away. It won't have much value, but as the dealer, getting Tenpai early could be great for him. At any point right now, the Ricci pattern could pop up, and he'll see wonders.
Definitely. Leko and Yuzakaze, unfortunately, are a little bit further away, with Leko with some very loose terminals, trying to get them out of his hand as quickly as
Yuzakaze is that
possible.
far away, and with this draw is actually 1 away for possibly Ricci, Pinfu, and actually 2 Doras for a Mangan hand. Can get 1 good draw here and be in a very fast Ricci for a very big hand. We gets an upgrade.
Getting closer.
He has
Chill
much...
picks up a Dora.
Yeah,
Decides to drop it.
That's the tile we talked about. It will work into his hand, but he does not take it, and it's still fine because thanks to him getting a pair of the 1 Manzu, is actually still 1 away. He just needs 1 more pawn, and it's there.
Definitely. Do you think Chill's gonna try and push for a half flush hand out of this?
It's a bit far, but I could see it happening if he's getting more Manzu tiles. He already dropped the 7, but I think if he gets something like a 2 or 3 or 4, he might just keep them. Because I do think a lot of those new players like just going with pairs and triplets. So once something gets a tile that they already have, they'll just use it.
Definitely.
There he does take the pawn. Will it take the tenpai? Will you see it? Yeah, it does. We don't see the A-style yet. It's still somewhere in the wall. But he's also waiting on the 7 pinzu. A lot of players are waiting for it. Percent could also use it into his hand for tenpai. It does not seem like he will be trying to change to half flash, dropping this 4 manzu.
Absolutely. Just going for the quick hand.
Quick hand could get him a bit closer to 2nd place. Oh, and that might be the deal-in. Will Percent drop it?
Yes, he will. Doesn't sniff it out.
This will be, I think, 40-minute points, making for 2.6 points. Yeah, it is 40-minute points.
Yes,
Putting
that's right.
Percent in a bad spot.
Yeah,
Losing his
Percent has
dealership along the way.
Yeah, very unfortunate to lose your dealership like that, and ending up in last, there's always a pressure to try and make something great happen, make something crazy happen. But oftentimes it just gets you into more trouble.
Lecco, already 2 away for a possibly big hand. Chile and Percent seem to be a bit far with a lot of out of order honor tiles. Yuzekaze though has 4 pairs. Might just try to make a pair hand or maybe just start pawning. A lot of those tiles are low tiles. Usually when you have like pairs that are on the middle, they are very hard to pawn because everyone will be using them. But we have pairs of like terminals and honors and maybe even those trees. Getting pawn on them, not that hard. So now triplet hand could very much happen.
Definitely, yeah. It's Lecco is pondering this south tile. Ends up deciding to see if he can take it anywhere. It is worth 2 wins for him.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why he's trying to force it into his hand. So it might just be the thing to slow him down, even if he does get a pair of it. Making your all simple hand into suddenly a south tile reliant is just waiting with like 2 tiles that might not get into his hand.
Absolutely. It turns into a massive risk. And he decides against it, returns back to his original setup.
The very nice upgrade of the 4 bamboo, making it a lot easier to get the 1 away by either drawing 3 bamboo, 4 bamboo, or 6 bamboo. Any of them will get him closer.
Yuzekaze picks up another triplet, finishing out that 1-pin triplet, and we'll see if maybe Yuzekaze goes for the 4 concealed triplets.
He's also at 5 pairs. He might just hit the Richie button before he could make the decision, and I don't think he will be able to resist it.
The shiny button. It's always tough.
Percent, getting somewhat close himself, having not a bad hand, might just open this. He decides not to. Still 2 away, I think. Either 2 or 3 away. Could get there. Having a 1 hand right now as Percent will be pretty big because Chill is the dealer and Chill is his biggest competition. If we can get the 3rd place out of Chill's hands or get the dealership away from him, that will be a pretty good play.
Absolutely. Lecco is kicking himself a tiny little bit, drawing both south tiles and having to discard them.
And that's his 1 away.
Originally aiming for. Absolutely.
With all those triplets, I don't think he will be getting the pinfu. And the chance of getting all simples also seems hard, but just a ready hand, he'll for sure take it. A great draw for Chill. Getting 1 away himself.
Definitely. I have a feeling that
refusing the 1 away. Wait,
yeah.
Is it refusing? No, he's still 1 away, he just made it a lot harder, okay.
Yeah, just reduced his weights significantly. Oh, the 6-mon, 6-mon, 6-mon. Tsumogiri draw and drop, unfortunately, from Yuzekaze. You would love to have that one back.
Yeah. It was actually, if we would have them, it would be actually close to the Yakuman hand for conceit triplets. And that's crazy, Yuzekaze passes the pawn on the white dragon. He's trying to make a triplet hand without opening it. Again, it's more of a Yakuman kind of thing, but it's very hard to make a triplet hand without opening because there's just 1 white dragon remaining. And the chance that he will find himself into Yuzekaze's hand, very small.
Lucky for Yuzekaze, he can pivot this into 7 pairs, and still redeem a little bit of value out of it.
But the dealer might just stay Richie and stop everyone. Leko just keeps getting possible upgrades, but not getting any of those sequences finished. Usually finishing a 2-3 sequence is one of the easier stuff. And that's almost all of the 1 moves dropped, but there is the 4 to save the day. And that would be 10 points.
リーチだ
Now Leko was
And
on
he
2
goes
seconds,
for-
he almost missed it by just not having timer. It is true, if he was going to keep it as a pair weight, he could have had 3 concealed triplets on Atsumo. But he chose the better weight, probably correct. Waiting on the 1
That is
4
true.
pin. Now all the 1 pins are stuck in Yuzukaza's hand and I don't see themselves dropping out, but this 4 pin instead might... Pasan decides to keep it though. Though Chill has a 4 pin that really isn't working out. If Chill gets Tenpai, he'll probably drop the 4 pin.
Definitely. It's unlikely that he's going to be able to pair up that 4 pin to save him. Oh wow,
but
he
he does!
does! And
That's
now
crazy.
Leko's weights are almost completely dead.
But
And
Oh my
he
God!
deals in Ipatsu. Wow.
That's so unlucky. It's crazy unlucky. It's like one of the most unlikely end of events in these situations. But because of the Ipatsu, and because Chill is dealer, that's a lot of points that Loco is losing.
Definitely, yeah. And just going back, if he had waited on the 2-pair weight with the 2 pin and 7 pin, he would have hit a monster hand right there with the 3 concealed triplets.
That's true. Loco missed but of course, he can't really know that the likely ways would not work out.
Of course.
Chill getting another good hand. South is already the win, so it is a Yakuha. If he pawns it, he will be pretty close to Tenpai, just chaining more wins as the dealer. Leko might have a half flush hand, already having 1 finished triplet, and then 7-8-9 on the bamboo side, and having this nice pair and block, you could very much get a fast half flush. Might not have the most value, but might get him back into the groove. And that's another bamboo.
I think he's gonna go for it. There's a good chance if he's able to keep this closed, there's a lot of opportunities
Yuzukaza
to
though
make a big hand.
has a 2-away that might just become a mixed triple sequence with some luck. And if he does get something like that, this hand could be 12k, getting him even further lead.
Absolutely.
Oh, this might be hard for Leko. He wants to get the half flush, but at the same time, will he really draw a 7-8 on the Dora? It seems like he might have to, because he already put himself in possible Furitan by dropping the 6 before.
Definitely. It's always
ポンするよ
very stressful when you get that little oh, looks like he's gonna go just push straight for the
Yeah, it is one away.
straight for the half flush.
It's very hard call to make, even as a good player, just to know when to fully commit to the half flush and throw all the other tiles away, even if they're good. But he does find Tenpai. It's not a very good one, because he already used 3 of the 2 bamboos, so mostly waiting on 1 2 bamboo and 4 5 bamboos. And again, this
Absolutely.
doesn't have that much value. It's only half flush, only 2 hand. The only other thing he got going for himself is high mini points.
Yes, that is true. Unfortunately, we see that 2 of the 5 of bamboos are
He just does not
locked
fit.
up.
悪いね
Ooh.
それ当たりだよ
Chill gets hit. Very small.
It won't be much, yeah. It doesn't even get to 40 mini points because it's not Sumo. Sumo gives a bit more mini points when you open your hand. But I don't think Chill minds. He's still in a good spot. And Passant just looking a bit sad. It's already almost finishing the game 1 and he's still in 4th. He will have one last chance of getting a dealer round.
Yes, he actually will be our all last dealer.
チ
So we can potentially see him just pop off. Chain a bunch of wins together.
Oh, Chill got a lot of terminals and honors. He might just be looking at a 13 offense, especially with the first discard here.
Ooh, that'll be very interesting to see.
So I don't think he'll get there in time before Yuzukaza finishes his hand, because his hand is actually 2 away for a possibly very big hand. Not very big, around 8k, but usually good players
Yeah.
who try to change 8k hands back to back to 8ks is better than 1 12k.
Very true, very true. One thing that I'm worried about with Pasan is that he did immediately open up his hand, but I don't know what his Yaku's gonna be.
Yeah, it's hard to see. And it doesn't have any value even if it does find the egg, but it just seems like the kind of hand where the only thing you're doing is dealing in. That's the only thing you can do.
Yes. We'll see if he takes this pawn. He does not. So San will be stuck with these two
No.
north tiles.
He might be, I think he's only out right now. He's trying to make pure straight on the Manzu tiles. He could get a Chi on a 6-man, and then maybe draw the 3 or 2-man, and that will be his saving grace.
Need a lot of things to go his way to make this hand happen, but there's the chance.
Chill seems to decide not on the 13 orphans. A lot of times when you get hands like that, it's either you go for 13 orphans, or maybe you just drop all of those orphans hoping to maybe get Manganef draw. This is something that's possible in this tournament. Some tournaments disable that, but here, it is a possibility. I doubt we will see a Manganef draw, those are quite rare. It means that everyone has to go to draw, and your draw pile has to be honors and terminals that were never called. If someone pawns or cheese, it's over. It's kinda hard to get, and it's not worth a lot of points either, but it is cool.
Yep, you get 8,000 points, equivalent for a Mangan for doing so, but like you mentioned, it's really hard to make your hand shape out that way because it's entirely up to the draw.
And look at Yuzuka's hand, it's one away, and in a very fast way. The Richie button might be seen any moment, and there it is. He does have to drop one of the shiny tiles, but who cares when you already have 4-hand being worth almost 8k points. But unlucky to him, this weight isn't that good. Like usually we'll have a 2-sided weight, you're kind of happy, but you already know of 4 of the tiles, 3 8-pins being dropped and 1 5 being in his hand. Only 4 more tiles remaining for him to win off.
Absolutely, and 2 of them are stuck with Lecco, who may turn this into a
hand, yeah. I mean, a lot of times when you're playing defensively, it's a lot easier to defend while making a pair hand.
Yes, yeah. Whenever a safe tile is dropped, now you have 2 extra draws that you can get rid of and play a little bit safer and get to the end.
To go for a half flush. He did Chi on the 6-man, meaning he might even get a pure straight, but in any case, his hand is still kind of far, being 2 away in a very unlikely way to continue.
Yes.
Chill has absolutely nothing. He's 2 away, but I don't really see it happening.
Yeah, it will be a little tougher for Chill, especially to make a hand that is worse or that has a Yaku in it as well. Oh, the red 5 sumo!
That's very big. That might be 12k points. Robbing Lecco blind.
Wow.
And because Lecco was the dealer, he loses extra, putting him almost at last place. I don't think that's how he envisioned this first game to go, as being such a high rank.
Definitely. Hassan has a new rival at the bottom here.
Yuzukaze just keeps getting points. At this point, if he doesn't take any drastic turn to the worse, I don't think he'll have to worry much about the next game. He'll just have to play safe.
Definitely, yeah. All you have to do is secure that 2nd place, and you are into the next round. So, with such a strong lead, it'll be very hard for him to fall off.
Seems like both Yuzukaze and Passant maybe going for a color hand, while Chill
on the
is
other
just
side,
trying to make a simple hand, and it's already ready. This is so fast.
Yep, just 1 call and just sitting on the 3/6 of character weight, but a lot of them are taken up currently.
And now that it looked a bit like a mixed triple sequence, but it's actually far. He might get a mixed triple sequence if he gets 2 more draws on his Pinzo side. Doesn't really matter though. The difference between 1 and 2k is really small. And getting this fast hand for him as 2nd place is so good. Lecco might just deal in. Probably will drop his honor tiles first, but everyone might deal in right now. They have so many tiles Chill might run on.
Lecco picks up the Formon, and now Yuzukaze is pretty unlikely to actually drop his 3-mon. And Lecco on the other side is waiting for a dead weight Formon. It looks like almost a 1-tile Formon weight to make that 3/4/5 to accept the 5-mon Dora.
And I was about to say it was pretty good to Passant, who might need the time to make this half flash work, but I don't know why he dropped the 8 Pinzu. That could really work in his hand. I thought he was making some kind of a half flash, but dropping the same color and a pair of that might be a bit hard to get to 10 by now.
Definitely very tough.
And Leko keeps
Very
getting
rough.
upgrades, getting very close to it himself, having 3 shiny tiles in hand. Being the hand that could just get him second place. Chill
Yeah.
can change weights here. Will he do it? Does not.
Nope. Sticks with the wider acceptance, not knowing that a lot of the tiles are taken up in other players' hands.
It's very frustrating when you're in a Chill's perspective because you don't know where all your winning tiles are. But I guess there it is.
Oh.
Leko got an upgrade that forced him out of the streamer.
今夜を
I don't think he's too upset about one Han dealing, but
I don't
obviously
know. It
you are
puts him
now
in-
in last.
Yeah, it puts him in last place and denied him one of his biggest comeback hands that was one away. Now, the chance
Very
of
true.
getting first place seems almost impossible unless Passant makes a crazy streak. So the real fight is over the third and fourth spot, or maybe even the second, if Chill does not play safe.
Definitely. I think that's definitely a risk. Because in Chill is also gonna be looking over at Yuzukaze's 55,000 points and just wondering, can I actually make up that difference come game 2?
Speaking about pairs, we have 2 players, both the competing third and fourth player having a 2-away pair hand. Let's see which gets there first. The first guy to get a 10 pie here will probably get the third place.
That is true, although we'll see if anybody suffers from throwing down a Ricci stick and
Oh, that's right.
not
because
actually being able to win and losing those 1,000 points.
at the same time, I'm not sure if Leka knows
ポン
about not calling Richie. Because I would think that if Passant calls Richie, Leko might just call Richie instead of going for a Dama hand, which means not calling Richie, not paying the 1,000 points. But I guess we won't have to worry about that because Passant is just going in. Maybe for a full flush, maybe for a triplets hand. He does have still 3 more pairs.
Yeah, I think he may end up going for triplets. He dropped the 4-pin a little bit earlier. Very interesting that Yuzukaze actually doesn't call the white dragon there.
Yeah, he's very patient with his calls, but he is 1 away using the white dragon as a pair. Pawning it will keep him at 1 away. It's true it will make this hand faster, but I can understand just keeping this white dragon as your pair. When Chill gets really close, pretty sure Chill is now at 1 away for a possible mixed triple sequence.
Passant also has a very nice all triplets hand shaping up right now.
He was missing that 1 less pair, and that pair became a Dora pair, making his hand a lot more viable than the mess it looked like a few turns ago.
リーチ
And that's the Richie from Izekazo finally found his draw. Waiting for the 7 bamboo. Now, you already know one of the 7 bamboos is taken as the Dora indicator, so he doesn't have that many to work with. And maybe some players won't throw it away because they want to have it near the Dora. Leko seems
Oh,
to not
no,
be going
Passant.
for pairs.
Ah,
この
gets
ファイ
caught
トうちがもらいま
a little bit going forced the all triplets hand and ends up dealing in.
Now for Yuzukaze it doesn't really matter, it's just his winning parade. But for Passant at Leko this is a very big thing. Passant now gets forced into 4th place and Leko gets his 3rd. He's saving grace. Very hard to come back from a 4th place, but from a 3rd, we saw it done yesterday and we can see it be done again today.
Absolutely.
Now give me a second. I'll write the points down and let the players know in case they miss them. So Mizukaze getting first with 558.1. This might be almost the highest points won for the first game, giving him such a comfortable lead. Leko with minus 24.6. Even as a 3rd place, it's a lot of points lost. And Passant with minus 42.5. Again, with the rules we have, it's possible to get out of it. Hard. I won't lie. It won't be
Yes.
easy for them. Okay, I have the points down. Let's look at them now. So, in first place right now, Mizukaze with 58 points. Doubt we'll see him out of the top 2. He probably almost completed his spot. The real fight seems to be right now between Chill and Liko. Chill has a pretty big lead, having 9 points, which is almost 30 points more, a bit more actually than 30, than Liko, who has minus 24.6, and dead in last percent with minus 42.5. Do you think a comeback will happen?
I think Leko definitely has the tools to get there, but he will have to potentially try and force a little bit more value coming out of his hands, which can definitely put a strain on how defensive he can play in terms of making sure he doesn't become the victim of someone of a deal-in.
We did see it happen yesterday. A lot of players just kind of getting either tilted or stressed by being in one of the lower places, trying to make some big stuff happen. And that's the thing, when you're more of a new player, you don't really know how much points each hand worth, and you don't really know what kind of thing to go for and how far away it is. So sometimes you're trying to go for a big hand that will never happen, and in that time you just missed another good hand you could have gotten a lot earlier.
Definitely, yeah. I think I've also definitely been a victim of that, where I'm trying to force my way down one path and then end up just passing up really good value on the other side of things. I would say the gap between Chill and Leko it looks quite large, but we do have to remember a lot of that is due to the UMA, the penalty points, or the placement points.
Yeah, the
So
difference
if they
between...
just swap placements between second and third, a lot of that advantage gets wiped away.
The difference between first and second or third or fourth is just 15 UMA. A big nonetheless, but the difference between second and third is 20 UMA. It's a lot of points. So I can for sure see Leko making a comeback, especially if he keeps his head cool. He is, in theory, the best player in the group right now, being expert, having high experience. If he just kinda plays a good game and does not get too unlucky, he can for sure make it. And Chill, being the new player, he might just make the mistake that Leko will catch up on. We already saw him make a hand that doesn't have a Yaku, and hope he might actually do it again, and Leko could capitalize on it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, definitely being more experienced with the game, knowing a lot more about the Yakus definitely gives you a key edge for some of the newer players. It's very easy to make certain mistakes, such as, oh, I thought that I could make a pure double sequence on an open hand, trying to get a little bit of extra value there, and turning around and saying, wait a minute, that's one Han I could have saved on if I kept my hand closed.
For those asking about the Richie music, it is something I also noticed yesterday, that we didn't really have the Richie music we wanted to have. I wasn't sure if it was because the players did not have it turned on or just did not really gacha for it, but I think you just can't hear Richie music in maybe Tournament Spectate, because I do have it turned on. Don't think I have it turned off or muted. Just does not seem to work on. Now, for Passant, the only chance is one big dealer streak. Having a good game right now would be nice, but having like a first or second with 30-40k points might not be enough, having such a big deficit. He kinda needs to just get one crazy dealer streak, and for that he'll need to reach Tenpai multiple times. Might be a bit hard to do as a new player, but if he just gets the correct hands, might be even autoplay for him, just getting a free first.
Yeah, all about the tile efficiency to make your way up there. We'll have to see if Passant looks at his score and says, well, there's no way I can come back. It's time to cause a little bit of chaos. See if you can make any of these Yakuman hands try and go for the big hand reward prize instead.
That's another thing that happens in those kind of tournaments. When you have people that are desperate, they play odd, and a lot of times that makes it harder for the other players to play, because Chill and Leko might try to do simple stuff that Passant won't really help them with, because he's might be going for very crazy hands, might even be somewhat griefing others. A lot of times when you're in last place, you can't really have a clear way of getting first, and you're just not sure what to do. And a lot of times that could cost other players. He might just deal into Leko, a lot of times costing Chill the second place.
Absolutely. You have to throw caution to the winds a little bit when you're trying to make up such a big deficit. And that can lead to some pretty upsetting situations if you're not the beneficiary of the tiles being tossed.
We did see yesterday a 24k hand, and today we almost saw it again. So even Mizukaze, who is in a very big lead in first place, if he gets hit by something like a minus 24k, and suddenly gets hit by a few more stuff, he might get heavy negative. And if you get fourth place with like a minus, it could make his first place seem irrelevant, and might even lose his top spot. Anything could really happen, of course. If Mizukaze does play safe, he'll probably get there. But a lot of those players are new, and they might not have the best defense principles. Even having a lead, even trying to defend, they might just deal in anyway.
Absolutely. Defense is one of the... It's definitely not one of the first things. Typically, it's not one of the first things you end up learning when you're starting off with Mahjong. Usually, you end up picking those skills up somewhere once you hit Gold Room into Jade Room. Although I've seen some really crazy lack of defense plays all the way up in the Master 3 tier of games as well. So you never know what people are gonna throw at you.
A lot of players can even climb in Master, and I think you can even get to Saint doing that. Something called just going pure efficiency. Not trying to put any kind of defense, but if you're being the most efficient player in the room, a lot of times it will work out in your favor. And that's what I'm also saying to new players. A lot of times they see a Richie, and they get scared. Richie is like, I'm going to attack you. So they just try to defend, but because they don't know how to, they're not only ruining their hand, they'll still have the same chance of dealing in. So they're just... So that's why for new players, I'm just saying, just don't defend. Even up to Master, it will be fine to just not defend. As long as you're making good hands, it will work out.
Absolutely.
No,
You just need to hit a chain of some fortunate draws, fortunate games, and you can essentially hit a win streak and make your way in.
We are getting pretty close to the second game. Only 1 more minute remaining. I think this game will go very differently to the first one. On the first one, people are just trying to make their best Mahjong plays. But on this one, they know the points, they've seen the scores, and they're going to try to play accordingly. This might make them play better, or this might make them play worse, getting maybe a bit too stressed.
Honed by the nerves or unsettled by them, we'll have to see. It looks like a lot of these players really like hitting the Richi button as well, though. I don't know if we're gonna see too many Dama quiet hand wins where you're not declaring that you're ready. But maybe if someone hits a really massive hand, they're waiting on a closed full flush or something like that. Maybe they're just happy to sit, and they'll recognize that, hey, this hand probably has enough value for me to work off of.
Closed full flush will be pretty entertaining. I don't think we've seen that kind of hand yet, and it's always cool to see. And again, those kind of hands are easy to make. Even the newer players can just keep the entirety of one color in their hand, and I assure you, it will probably be Tenpai. It's very hard to have one color of the entire hand and not be in Tenpai.
Absolutely. It's also very nice that Mahjong Soul helps you along with that a little bit. Where they'll tell you, hey, you can also Richi, or they'll give you a little indicator of what tiles become your winning hands. It's a little bit harder when you're playing live with other players.
Yeah, Mahjong not only gives you the tips option, which some tournaments turn it off, obviously not this one, but also even with the tips turned off, they don't allow you to make fake Riches, something that could happen in normal games. When you see the Richi button happen, that's because you're in Tenpai. There isn't a way the Richi button pops up without you being there.
That's right. Looks
Now,
like Chill is pretty close on his hand. Still a couple tiles away.
Leko,
But he's the closest out of everyone.
already 1 away. Now, we've seen in the last game, he was trying to prioritize more closed hands, but as the dealer I can very much understand him just going for a fast hand. And we did see some change in Jinyachi's. Yuzikaze showing his magician outfit that just came back for, I think Hinata, that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
Showing that he doesn't only have a good flow and Mahjong skills, but also a fat wallet.
The best card is the credit card sometimes.
Passant also finds himself in a one-away.
Yeah. Passant may have caused a little bit of trouble in his hand. He's a little bit of a maybe in furry. He may have put himself in furry tent. With,
oh, that's right. I didn't see the 9
early
so
9
he dropped at the start. And Leko just made a Dora walk in his hand, making it a bit bigger. And he is in Tenpai. A very nice and fast Tenpai for the 5-8. This will be really hard to contest.
Definitely. I don't see a way for Yuzikaze to hold on to that 8-mon, really. I think it's going to come out pretty soon.
Both Chill and Yuzikaze getting the 4th pair of their hand.
Wow.
Oh, but Yuzikaze is not taking it.
Yeah. I thought that Yuzikaze may end up dropping that 8-mon in the name of maybe going for something like a mixed triple sequence.
That's right, the Seismite is not fitting. If you won't draw anything near it, I can for sure see it dropping it once his hand gets closer to Tenpai. Oh, and Passant draws it as well. Though he might keep it.
Ooh.
He does not.
He doesn't. Chooses not to make it a pair.
That's exactly what Leko wants. Get everyone,
Definitely.
right at the beginning as a dealer, get a big lead, and being comfortable to just play safe. And out of all of those players, I would expect Leko being able to play safe the most. Knowing how to keep a lead.
He has another very quick hand here off this deal.
Yeah, I think this is already either 2 or 3 away, but it looks very easy to upgrade.
On the other side, Yuzikaze also has a pretty strong hand. Very
like
easy
that.
way into the half outside.
Not only half outside, he has 2 of the dragons. A lot of times those players will just try to get the 1 less dragon or maybe some more honors and try to go for big hands. Remember, there is a top prize for getting the biggest hand, but it seems like unlikely because Chill just got a 2nd pair of his dragon. So again, we'll have a standoff with 2 players having a pair of a dragon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the one benefiting is Leko, which is gonna find his Tenpai pretty soon.
Very true.
And he's 1 away.
1 away. The weights are looking pretty good for him as well. Pretty wide.
Yeah.
In terms of what he can pull in.
It did make the weight a bit harder by dropping this 1 bamboo. Could have made it somewhat faster, but this is also good. This makes sure he always ends up in pinfu. And he does.
Absolutely.
How terrifying it
Pinfu's
is.
always the trusty Pinfu.
How terrifying it is to have low vision on like what's going on the board, having the dealer just reachy so early, and you're still far away from Tenpai. It's really hard to imagine how you're gonna get there while not dealing him, and that's exactly what happens with Ipatsu. Now his hand was not worth many points, but with Ipatsu, did this the Uradora, but it's still 6k points. And
yeah, thanks to being dealer, getting the little bit of bonus.
And Leko is just gonna keep repeating. Doesn't matter if all of his hands will be small or big. If he only wins, then he will just be first place. And again, he keeps getting a free hand. I'm not sure if he's celebrating the last game, or he just sees this hand and already being very happy with himself. But for some reason, he does not take the 1 away. He decides to make this hand probably with better value. And this might not be fully wrong. He makes the chance of Tanyo and Pinfu a lot bigger.
Definitely, yeah. It's going a little bit more value now that he has a pretty sizable lead in this game.
Chill though, also a fast hand that has 4 pairs, 2 shiny tiles. It might end up being other stuff. Oh, but a crazy draw by Leko.
Wow.
Not only getting the Dora, but making himself back to 1 away. And now, this will always be all simples.
That is
true.
true.
Big upgrade for Leko.
Oh, everything is going up Leko this game. Yuzikaze had a really good game last time, and this time Leko is just drawing all the right tiles.
It seems like Passant or Yuzikaze are a bit far from chasing distance. It'll be pretty hard to get there before Leko. The only chance is Chill, but his draws are not looking very good. He keeps trying useless stuff.
Definitely, although Chill is one away on a 7 pair.
It's true. Could also accept the Dora, giving himself a possible 3 Dora 7 pairs. With a Richie, that's 12k minimum. Could even be 16k if he gets lucky with the Dora.
Definitely. Things, we'll have to see how Chill finishes out this hand. Drops the 3 of bamboo.
Still keeping
I
the
know
pair
Tom-
option. Oh, and that's the Tenpai.
Upset. Ooh.
Now,
Yep.
it's not Pinfu, sadly. It's double
Reach
weight, but it is all simples. It is also Richie, and it's 2 Dora. That's 11.6k. Actually, no, because it's not Pinfu, it's always 12k. And if it sumos this, especially now, it will be 18k.
Yes, definitely opportunity for a really big hand. Although we do see a lot of his potential weights are actually all of his potential weights are out on the board. Nothing in the wall that he can draw.
Yeah, and having a weight like this, knowing already one of the 8 Mansu is gone, you're just waiting on the 4s, and the 4s, no one will drop such a middle tile at this stage. This seems somewhat unlikely. A lot of new players are afraid of stuff like this. You see how Chill got scared when he drew the dragon, because no one dropped it before. There is some kind of... Oh, and is that Tenpai for his cousin? No. I thought he was doing a pair hand as well. He might be doing so, but still a bit far. So I was saying, a lot of new players are just afraid of dragons. They think those are the biggest deal in style.
Very true. San is meandering his way, making his way, tossing some of the dragons that come by.
Still
A
just
little more
having
bold and chill.
still just having pairs as his only option. Seems like a lot of those players are relying on pairs. Pairs is it's a very special Yaku that even the worst hand will be usually close to pairs. And
But
that's
San is very close to it. He
yeah,
is
he
one
did
away.
get his 5th pair. One more pair and he's there. And I'm sure he'll love to chase like a Richie of his own.
Absolutely. The one downside is this chasing after the 7 pair hand may end up
Dealing
causing
in.
him to deal in on that Formon.
Let's see what he does. Sticking which isolate style to drop. Go for the bamboo.
He could also turn that into just a Tanyo and just make some pawns and make some calls on some of the pairs that are in his hand if they ever come down.
It's true. But a lot
Quite
of
funny.
times those new players, they can only see one direction. And that's good, they don't need to focus on everything at once. He's probably seeing the 7 pairs and that's all he has in mind. Doesn't want to throw it away somehow.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Unlucky, that 7 bamboo would have worked out it seems. Giving him the last pair
Yeah.
of the bed. And when you're such late into the game and the dealer has not worked out with his Richie, you might start to think, oh, his weight's probably bad. I can chase this and there isn't much danger. And you see,
Unfortunately, unlucky for Leko is that it looks like
getting
a
his
lot
Richie,
of the...
and he does not take it. He could have taken a Richie, but he ran out of time, or maybe he was afraid to deal in. He doesn't want to have a bad second game and ruin his first game.
Definitely, I think a little bit of the fear of potentially dealing in, but looks like Leko's gonna get another dealership round off of this Tenpai.
脳天残念
I am happy with all of those players taking all of their timer. And this is an important thing that I also sometimes struggled with. Sometimes you just make a decision quick, and you have this timer for a reason. If you use it, you will have better decision making in the long run.
Absolutely.
Looks
It's a little bit like the timer in chess, where it can either be a crutch or it can be a big benefit because you do get that a little bit of bonus time to think about your moves, but also it can cause a lot of stress once the timer starts dwindling.
It seems like Leko's flow has finally ran out. You got so many back-to-backs, amazing hands, and this one, it might get Tenpai, but it doesn't show anything crazy, and it's hard to see the value in it.
Yeah, Yuzakaze is well on his way to making his hand as well. Not too far away.
And Chill might be going for orphans again, having 8 of them in his hand. Might be a bit hard though, getting so many Manzu, he might try to just make a Manzu hand instead. He does decide to probably go for the Manzu, dropping an honor tile that probably signals the end of the offense chance.
Yes, yeah, seeing that red dragon from Yuzakaze hit the table.
And something we are saying
With
out
that
of those new
follow-up.
players, and it's one of the biggest reasons their hands are slow, they're always keeping those honor tiles a bit too long. Usually those are the first tiles to come out of a player's hand, as you can see like in Eleko's drops, terminals and honors, but they're just saving those honor tiles and they're very unlikely to work with. So they're just really slowing their hand for potential value, but as you can see in Chill's hand, he didn't get one pair of honors even though he kept so many.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, Leko hits Ishan 10. He's one away on his hand.
Not a very high scoring hand, but again, Leko wins this, he gets another hand, and that one might just take all the brawls.
Exactly. The more repeats you get as dealer, the happier you are.
And something small that a lot of new players don't really know, you may have seen the things on the top left of the screen. There is 1x on this dot thingy and 3x of the many dot thingies. Those are bonus points for whoever is winning. The thing on the left is a Richie stick. This means there is a Richie stick from the last round, so whoever wins gets 1000 more points. And the thing next to it is called Honba. That's every time there is a draw or a dealer wins, there is one more added. So now we are at 3, and each one of those is worth 300 points. So anyone winning a hand gets 900 extra points. And if Leko does it, because he is the dealer, it will add even another Honba. So every hand he will win will be more points, even if it are small.
It is very easy to snowball as a result. Yuzakaze is now one away,
For a really good
potentially
hand.
on a pink blue hand.
Oh, and with a red 5, that will be 8k points. Exactly once he wants to stop
Crazy.
Leko.
Yeah,
And a lot
And
of his
Leko
rights are in
maybe-
Leko's hand.
yeah, or in Passants. Yuzakaze actually doesn't have much in the wall that offers anything, but I can see Leko potentially throwing one of the one mon into the winds as he's trying to push for his hand. But it looks like he's actually pivoting a little bit, trying to preserve that triplet.
Again,
one.
he's still one away. He can still make this hand and chase. Really nice to chase as the dealer, especially with this 4 bamboo drop. A more experienced player could tell that it's probably safe because all of the 7 bamboo drops on Yuzakaze and all of the 3 bamboo sin. But I'm sure for Leko this was a bit of a jump. I do think he's trying to push this. If he will get Tenpai, I think he takes it. And he does.
And he does. It'll be a 6-9 weight.
Or a 6 weight, up to him. He does take the bigger weight, and Chile immediately draws what he needs. We'll drop it.
Wow.
Does not.
Chill is in so much danger right here. It's
But
very
Chill is
concerning,
also in
especially
Tenpai.
with that.
And he might just change his Tenpai right now. Might drop the 6 though. The 6 is also Tenpai.
Wow.
It does not. Now the 4 bamboo is his Tenpai. Small hand from Chill, but it might just de-escalate Leko's and Yuzakaze's bigger hands.
Yeah, all
Hey,
the
well,
weights
Passant
are
can.
tied up.
Percent my can
Con.
is.
Con for flow.
He decides not to.
was
Maybe he
like, go
doesn't know
for
what
it.
he does.
Oh, Chill is now in half flush Tenpai as well. And again, and Yuzakaze deals in on the 9.
Small hand from Leko, but not only he takes the Richie sticks and the Honbas, going for almost 6k points from the original 2k points, he again gets another turn, and his flow seems to be working out. He's getting a good hands. This hand isn't very far.
Dealer repeat. Yeah, he has a nice pair. He has He has some decent shapes. He can really speedrun his way into another round win.
Chill though, on a 2 away for possibly Pinfu pure straight and might even score himself the Dora on his 3-4. This could be a great hand to stop Leko. Now it's even 1 away. You just need to see that Richie button, and Leko will have to just defend.
Absolutely. Wow. Chill's hand, very nice, very nice.
Yuzakaze's hand
You love to see
also
something like that.
not bad at all. Seems like everyone here are somewhat close to Tenpai. Getting good hands. A big draw for Leko. Getting 1 away himself.
Drop
No, my
the
bad.
West.
Because he dropped the West. He denied the 1 away. Trying to, I guess, go for more
Yeah.
points by having it all simples.
Yep, I think that's his goal.
That is the fourth pair for Yuzukaze, and it does try to play it. Passant, one away himself,
Wow.
and Leko getting the upgrade. From
Yep.
his a bit lower points hand that he almost took of the one away, he made it into a much stronger one away. Goes to show it does not just look at the speed of the hand, but also the value.
Yeah, although one downside for Lego's hand is he is potentially in Fairy 10 with that earlier 9-1 drop now.
But if he does wait on the Nanman, it would be a 3-sided wait. Sometimes even being on Fury 10 is correct. And having a 3-sided wait, even Fury 10, the chance you just sumo it instead is pretty good.
That is true. I always say that Fairy 10 is actually a buff for yourself to sumo and win.
It's true, it stops you from doing runs. And in the end, just securing more value, but there is the retreat from Chile. Will you take it?
Beach.
It does.
Definitely.
Now,
Yep.
sadly, didn't get the one Bubu to make it into a pure straight, but it's still Richie, it's Pinfu, and it's possibly Dora 1.
Beach.
Passant
Yeah,
chasing
he
him.
wants to get this hand out of Leko's hand and into his own dealership.
Passant does not get the pure double sequence, but he is waiting on the green dragon. One of them left, but it might look like a safe tile for someone like Leko.
Yeah.
Leko finds
Leko
his
gonna
Richie
take the
himself.
first Ricci.
It's a tough decision for him, but he does not take the Richie, but he does take the Tenpai.
Yes. I think that's the right choice for sure.
This way, he can still pivot for defense, but at the same time, he can still win his hand as well. Now, he can stop the Furitan here by taking this pawn. The point will be a lot lower from this win, but he will have a non-Furitan weight. He does do it.
And he does so. Unfortunately, pair of 8s stuck in Passant's hand.
And the 5-man is
Unable
now
for
double dealing.
Leko's reach.
If someone draws the 5, it will be a double dealing. Both Leko and Chill with a small amount of value, but a double run is a big hit on the mental. And that's the 5-man.
Wow, Yuzukaze draws the red 5. That was the last 5 in the wall.
Will he drop the 7
There's
pin?
no way it comes out, right?
I think the 7 pin is the only other option for him to keep Tenpai. No, he just uses Tenpai
Oh,
for pairs. That's a very unlikely
and that
sumo from
symbol comes
Passant.
out. Yeah. Very lucky. Very nice to hit it on the green as well. Pick up the extra Yaku.
And Leko's reign of terror has ended. You will have another chance at it, but for now the players are free, and Yuzukaze already has a possible Yakuman. With the big 3 dragons.
I think Yuzukaze is gonna go for the dragons. As a backdoor, he can always fall back on a half flush, but a little unfortunate that Passant immediately drops the green dragon. Maybe he senses the danger
But
lurking to his side.
all the other green dragons are not in players' hands, they are still in the wall. And Yuzukaze might just draw them, and even if he does not get big 3 dragons, he could get small dragons, and maybe even half flush here, for a crazy buyman hand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Chill though, pawning the south tiles, maybe not knowing that they're not Yakuhai in the east rounds. Possibly having a
That's
no
true.
Yaku
Maybe
hand.
too used to playing in South Seat with Leko's 4 repeats. A little bit may get his hand stuck a little bit here.
It's true. He might still be able to save it with a mixed triple sequence, but it's gonna be hard.
It will be very difficult. Yuzukaze gonna go for the
half flush, yeah.
half flush for sure. It's gonna be a lot harder to secure anything major with the dragons, but it is a possibility.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seems
he
like
drops the force of bamboo.
I guess he just wants the fast Tenpai. I guess as the person having a huge lead from last game, getting a small hand is not that bad.
Mm-hmm. That is true, yeah.
Beach.
But Passant just gets Tenpai before everyone could do anything, and he does have 2 triplets. Sadly, does not really give. Oh, will Yuzukaze drop it? I doubt he will.
Wow.
He does though, giving him the Ipatsu. This will be almost 8k points because all of the mini points Passant had. Oh, I thought it would be at 50 mini points, but
Almost.
it was not.
Not quite, yeah. Very close. Very unfortunate. Yuzukaze is crying. Where are my dragons?
And Yuzukaze maybe getting the thing he did not want, having a terrible second game, while Passant and Leko are looking good. Maybe even dethroning the
Absolutely.
old champions.
Definitely, Passan is making a really strong move towards starting a comeback. He does have two dealership rounds, and he is the all-last dealer, so the door is wide open for him to somehow rip a massive comeback.
Passant has a possibly big hand. Leko's hand seems a bit small and without value. Chill, though, has a lot of Pinzu tiles. He might be actually one away for a concealed half flush. Yeah, he is.
This is the type of hand that he might want to even go for the full flush.
Last round, pawning the sound was not correct, but this time it could be. But he might just take the Richie instead. This will be not just a small Richie. You might think, oh, this Richie is very small, but it does have the pure double sequence. And it's also waiting on the 7 bamboo, which is the Dora, yeah. So minimum amount of points will be 3 Han, and because of the mini points, it will be around 4 to 5k. If he does get an Ura Dora, that's 8k already. But
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not sure those bamboos are gonna fall.
Yeah, I don't think Yuzukaze is ever gonna drop the drop his Dora, and Passant has a pretty solid shape with the red 5 paired with the 7. He can very easily just hold onto it forever.
Yuzukaze was at 1 away, denied himself that, trying to go for the full flush on the bamboo. Because of all the bamboo in order is in other player hands and little on the board, it will be really hard to draw bamboo tiles at this point.
Passant rips the last winning tile for Chill.
And it works great.
Unfortunately for Chill, it is a really good hand. Yeah, it fits perfectly.
All the 7 bamboos are just walking in other people's hand, and Chill's hand suddenly became a ghost that just drops random tiles and can't win. Yuzukaze not sure if to cheat, trying to make a full flush hand, but at the same time not really sure how to proceed, because cheating this will kill his pair and triplet.
Yeah, it's a lot of risk associated with drop those tiles.
Leko getting very close to Tenpai himself. Though his 5-6 pin doesn't look that good. Already see a lot of 4 and 7 pins on the board.
Yeah, it's definitely some limited weights that are available for Leko.
And we do know his value is also terrible, so it's just trying to steal hands from others, but he might put himself in risk doing this.
Yeah, I think he's contemplating if he wants to push this into half
This is
flush.
Tenpai if he cheese this, but he might not see it. If he cheese on the 6-7 Manzo, he does take it. It also on the 4-6 is fine. So he does find the Tenpai.
He finds Tenpai. We may end up just going to draw at the very end, but definitely better than dealing in.
Yeah, it's
very
hard to
fortunate
believe
that
Passant and Yuzukaze's hands are going to advance, because all the bamboos they need are stuck in other people's hands, yet somehow Yuzukaze gets another bamboo.
Oh, that's Sumo! On the last 4-pin.
Yuzukaze was actually so close to a terrifying hand.
Oh yeah. That's the kind of hand that you look back at the replay for someone else and you're like, thank God the one hand won.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to worry about this monster on the other side.
And Yuzukaze was also dealer. I can tell you, this hand was minimum Baiman, which is 24k points as a dealer, and might even been higher if you decided to reach you with it.
Absolutely. Leko's hand is shining a lot to start, but the shapes are a little funky. He does have a nice 5-6 to make use of that red 5 in the Inzu.
One of the shapes worked out. Just needs that 2-ban to work out, and he can start opening his hand. Or maybe not, up to him. Yeah, it's usually the correct play with those kind of hands, to just open. You already have the value, you just need the speed.
Definitely, yeah. There's a little bit more pressure in a tournament setting where maybe he doesn't want to just speedrun a win like you might in a normal ranked game, where hey, you just want to get everything done with, because you do need to hit the certain point threshold to make sure you advance into the semis.
Yuzukaze is one away for possibly pure straight, maybe double sequence. You can only pick one of those, but both of them could be his Tenpai. That's not the draw I was looking for.
Son is not too far away as well. Maybe he can make something happen for his dealer round. Get some repeats like Leka did.
Yeah. Oh, but Yuzakaze draws it, getting the full pure straight already confirmed in his hand. Now he just need to drop the 5, and he will have himself... Yeah. Oh, it does not take the pinfo. If he would have dropped the 5 bamboo, would also find himself with pinfo, but instead, he just chose the pair weight on the 4 and 5 bamboo.
And is immediately punished with Leko dropping that 7 of bamboo.
Yeah, would have been crazy for him to immediately hit Leko here. Oh, and that's the tile he wants, but I think it fits into Basan's sets perfectly.
Exactly, the 2-3-4. That's another stranded tile. And Chill also has the 3-3-4 arrangement in his hand, which can easily, he just never drop that 4 bamboo.
Oh, but he might have to let go of something, and he might just let go of the Dora block that has the red 5 he really does not want to drop. Usually going for Richie on such middle tiles does not work out, but sometimes someone is forced, like Leko, he just got Tenpai. Will he drop it?
Wow. He does! Extra value for Yuzakaze.
That's a mangan at the very least, because of the pure straight.
リーチ一通ドラ
Now, it's just quite the blunder from Leko,
マンガン
prioritizing one of his pairs over the Dora block. And the Dora block, not only you want to play for it because it gives you value, you're also denying other people's value. Dropping the Dora against the Richie might be a big mistake.
Always very scary. There are some proponents of something called Dora theory, where you can throw the Dora tile into a Richie, and usually it'll be safe because people aren't waiting on it, because they're like, they're never gonna throw a Dora. So you can sometimes sneak by with a little bit of cheese, but when it doesn't work out, you get hit very hard.
Exactly. Sometimes there is drops you need to drop defensively, but you're like, this is unlikely. But if it does hit, I'm paying terribly. So you might just want to drop that might be likely, like a terminal, but you're like, oh, okay, but this does not deal into anything heavy. Like, this tile never deals into pinfo, never deals into all simples. If I get hit, it's probably low. And Yuzakaze with crazy draws, being already 1 away for a big hand.
Absolutely, but Leko also is already in half flush shape on a dealer round as well, so maybe his dealer flow is coming back.
His hand looks scary, but the reality of it, the blocks haven't finished yet. He's still like 2 or 3 tiles away. I hope he will open his hand because his chances of finishing it closed versus Yuzakaze are low, but he keeps throwing those Mansu tiles. It's exactly what he wants. Now he's 2 away for possible pairs. Will he open though? He can pawn right here.
Looks like he will.
Now getting himself into a 1 away. Now, this does not have much value because it's just half flush, which is 2 hand. But
he does get the repeat, so there's always a chance for the next hand. It is unfortunate for Chill, actually, for opening his hand early as well.
Again,
he has a lot of terminals stuck, so...
I think Yuzakaze got an upgrade, yeah. Trying to save the pair and going for a 3-4 instead could be a good option. Let's Leko get Tenpai though on the 3-man. Chill gets Tenpai, but it's not real Tenpai. He kinda needs to make a 1-3 and then a 7-8-9 to get the pure straight. And he probably realizes this, not taking the fake Tenpai.
Yeah. You hover the tile that you want to drop, and it just shows you...
No Yaku.
No Yaku.
We're just on a clock before Yuzakaze gets the Richie button. It's gonna be hitting very hard to whoever's on this receiving end.
Definitely, yeah.
He just can't get the good draw.
He's so close. Oh, it's so scary looking at this. And the worst part for Leko is that Yuzakaze is eating up one of the weights, the 3-mon, that he wants to turn into a 2-3-4 or a 3-4-5.
Oh, and Leko finds his actual Tenpai, waiting on the 3-pin for pure straight.
Yeah, Chill made his way back into a winning hand.
Yeah, and
very low value, but
Chill is fighting with Leko. Getting this deal round out of Leko, his last deal round could be enormous.
Yes, absolutely. The downside for Chilled is that we see a lot of 3-pin stuck in people's hands, I don't know if Passant may end up dropping it, but he may be greeting for the
Passant getting one away.
悪いねそれ当たりだよ
Shield stays there.
unlucky.
I think this is actually 40 mini points, yeah, so 4k points.
Yeah, definitely stings. And remember, Chilled and Leto were
Close in points.
the ones fighting out for second place coming out of the first game. So any hit that Leto can get off of Chilled is all part of the comeback.
Loco might be starting another Reign of Terror.
Yeah, another pretty quick hand. Very good options to just take a quick Tanya. Oh, but use a Kaze. Takes the 9 terminal draw.
In case anyone did not know, this just means we repeat the same round and everybody gets a new hand. This might be good for some players and bad for others who already had a good hand.
Absolutely. Leko's hand looks like it didn't even get too much worse. He's shaping up for another potential Honitsu. Another potential half flush.
And he can accept the 7 Bamboo Dora into his hand very well. If he does get the half flush and the Dora, that's almost 12k points.
Absolutely. Chilled has so many honors and terminals and honors in his hand, but not gonna go for anything crazy like orphans or anything like that.
Might just be looking to pawn them, or maybe making a pair hand.
Yeah, a pair hand would definitely be nice with those honors.
And not choice from Leko.
Floating around.
Destroying his 1-2 block to accept a 4-6 block. I do think he's just trying to go for half flush and he doesn't really care what's in his way. Doesn't care about the order between them. Just any tile that's not bamboo, get it out of my hand.
That is true. At least for me, I do prefer having the 4-6 type blocks instead of the edge weights, because there's always chances to improve significantly just by starting a little bit of drawing a tile on either side, whereas the 1-2 weight or the end weights don't really offer too many ways to improve.
Yeah, it gives more upgrades, but at the same time, if he might be getting another chi, he might be waiting on the 5 pin, and as much as that might be a red 5, still getting a 5, not very easy. I do think he will just full commit to the half flush, change his weight now on the Pinzu. Bit easier getting that 7 pin.
Definitely. Passant still has a couple honor tiles stuck in his hand. He's hoping to make something out of that south and the north, but little does he know, Chill has two norths in his hand, so that's a win that is really inaccessible for Passant.
Yeah, and having a 3 per hand in Passant's position is very hard to work with, but this is a great draw for him. He does not take it though. The red 5 not only allows for a possible 5-6-7 or 3-4-5, letting him get rid of one of his unwanted pairs, it's also more value.
Absolutely. He doesn't know that the north tiles are stuck, unfortunately, but he may be finally giving up on his on the terminals. But
Right.
Chilled actually picks up a south pair, which makes this really nice for him, being able to quickly and easily convert this into maybe a half flush hand.
I would like to remind, if someone thinks that all those wins, it will give him a good amount of points. They might will because of the south he just spawned, but getting the Yakuman of all wins is only possible with the 4th wind, which is not possible for him because Lek already took it. Still though, getting the double south, because not it's his double wind, being the round wind and his general wind, having half flush as well, will be 8k points.
Yeah, a lot of value in coming for Chilled, something that he very desperately needs and wants. We saw that Passant picked up another 7 pin that Leko was maybe is licking his chops at to see if he can maybe speedrun his hand, get to the end a little bit
And
quicker.
that's Tenpai.
ピーチ
Yup.
So getting a triplet
On
weight
the-
and
シーだ
Leko just trying to get the Tenpai, not letting go of this dealer turn.
Yes.
カン
Opts for the 2-5.
Oh, and there's the can.
Bamboo.
Which Dora will get added? The 8 bamboo works great
It's a
for
bamboo.
Passant, who is also in a Richie. He's probably having the scariest hand right now, Leko just having a rather small hand, but he just trying to steal the dealer win.
Yeah.
Chill, fight
thing for
Senpai.
Basan. Yep, 4-7 Mon. The unfortunate thing for Basan is that all of his weights are stuck in people's hands. He can't draw anything, and it's pretty unlikely for Leko and Chill to drop any of those the weights that he wants.
Will Leko push it? He's not sure of himself. I just want to play safe. He does push it. Chill might want to take it and change his weight. Oh, that's the 5 bamboo! Oh, no! That's unlucky.
悪いね
That's caught.
それ当たりだよ
Won't deal in
Not
very
too big
heavy.
of a hand.
Yeah, but for sure a shame on this night 8k points.
Yes, yeah.
It's very hard
Unfortunate.
for a player like Leko to grind his teeth and not start to defend versus two Tenpai players, but he found the courage and he was rewarded.
Yeah. Sometimes in Mahjong it's all about riding that line. You know, things might go poorly, but if you're careful about things and a couple things just swing your way, you can easily just make your way through, win with a little cheeky hand, ruin some people's day.
Now, yesterday I was always sure what's gonna be the standings after the second game. In this game, I'm not sure, it's really close. Every player right now could make like 1 or 2 good hands and suddenly being a contender for the top 2.
Absolutely. Yuzukaze is 1 away on his 7th pair hand actually already. Very quick. Potentially quick, rather.
Yeah, not much value to it. And the weight will not be great as well. But just getting an early Richie, a lot of players might just decide to defend. Scary.
Yeah, on the other side, Leko actually also has 4 pairs. I don't know if he takes this pawn. He will. He'll take this dragon and speed up his hand a little bit,
Yeah,
open it up, give him some profits.
Leko seems to be in a pure efficiency kind of mindset, just trying to find Tenpai every turn, but there's that Richie. Waiting on a 5 pin instead of the 1 bamboo. Probably because one of the bamboo was already out, but getting this 5 pin won't be easy. And I don't know, Leko might just push through it. He found the courage for it before, and he might just now again when he has 2 shiny tiles in his hand.
Definitely. Very fortunate, or it's hidden fortunate that Yuzukaze actually chose to toss the 1 of bamboo because Shield had the last weights in his hand as forming his pair, which would have made it very difficult for Yuzukaze to coax any of that out.
Basant going for half flash, being rather close. Just need 1 or 2 good draws, and all of his blocks will be in order.
It's actually really funny. There's actually a bit of a double Suji trap on that 5 pin. Leko cleared that 2 pin zoo a couple rounds ago, and Yuzukaze just dropped the 8 pin. For anybody who is a follower of Suji, it is potentially pretty dangerous to see the 2 pin and the 8 pin drop, which may give you a false sense of confidence on the 5 pin follow up.
And that's Tenpai for Leko.
Wow, Leko with some monstrous draws, 3 tiles in a row, just
And
ruining the hand,
immediately gets to
and
the
immediately
悪いねそれ当たりだよ
Yuzukaze drops the 4 pin.
That must be so demoralizing for Mizukaze. Getting an early Richie, just to watch yourself sit there and deal in anyway later.
Yeah, that is brutal.
And like, it's hard. Like after the first game, you're in such high spirits. I'm winning this, and suddenly you're seeing the worst case scenario happen.
Absolutely, you're in a position where you're fighting to hey, maybe I have to worry about getting negative points.
So this might be the hand Yuzukaze was waiting for, being 2 away, being a bit close to mixed triple sequence, and having 3 shiny tiles.
Yes, you love to see the shiny. I actually really like Yuzukaze's hand as well, but Leko also has a pretty strong hand as well. Could be very quick if just a few tiles go his way.
I do hope this half flash won't blind him, because dropping this 4-5-6 that has a Dora in it could be a great mistake.
Yes, yeah. Looks like everybody actually is getting pretty lucky on their draws and advancing their hands pretty effectively. Chilled is potentially looking at a very nice hand as well.
A great draw for Yuzukaze. I think that's 1 away. Yeah, 1 away for a big hand. Might not be painful. The blocks are quite weak, but a one away nonetheless.
Definitely, yeah. He's gonna be hoping that he doesn't have to drop the 8 so, but I think
Not bamboo, but
find
yeah,
his way.
it does manage to keep the 8 bamboo that he might have dropped. Now, the wait here, not really good. Just waiting on the 7 bamboo, right? Or did I look at it wrong? Yeah, he's waiting on the 7 bamboo. And 2 of them are gone. One in his hand, one is the Dora indicator. That's only 2 tiles left. But at the same time,
Yeah.
if he somehow sumos it, that would be Hanneman, 12k points. Getting him right back into his safety spot.
Absolutely. Also unfortunate for Kaze is Passant has a hand that maybe he's gonna try and force a half flush and hold on to his 7 bamboo forever.
ポン
Will Echo though keep going? I think with this kind of lead, he has a pretty good shot into the first and second spot. And again, there is still 3 more rounds. He doesn't have to get in an even bigger lead right now. He can do it later. But we've seen him do it like 2-3 games in a row, and he likes those streaks. I think he might just keep going.
That's right. Passant is one away, but has definitely some really good options to turn this into something very promising. And also without dealing into Yuzakaze, which is the most important part.
Yeah, looks like a good hand to de-escalate the situation. Won't score much points, but Passant is in a good spot right now to just kill the dealer. And remember, it will have one more dealer turn. He could try to keep all his eggs to then, and try to get back into the first and second category.
Definitely, yeah.
Leko's hand
drops
just,
the 5 though.
yeah, no fear. His hand though is a bit of a mess. It might get Tenpai, it's 2 away, but it's a bit hard to see it.
It's actually one away if
for
he goes for
pairs.
7 pair,
Yeah,
which is really funny to be in this position. Oh, Chilled picks up the last 7 so in the wall.
it fits into his hand pretty well. I can see him getting Tenpai and not dropping it.
Yeah, and Passant makes the hand, picks up the Dora. He's never dropping that 7 of
Le-
bamboo either. So
Leko getting a
Yuzakaze
triplet.
is tough.
Leko got a
Yeah.
triplet and now he's 1 away on the other side, trying to play both sides right now, making the non-pair side very weak, but still a possibility if he gets a triplet. Passant with a can, making
Oh,
even
hits
more
the Ricci.
Doras. Oh, he's Tenpai, yeah.
リーチだ
And Leko
9
gets
mon
Ricci.
and 5 pin.
Now Leko's hand
Also a
really
pretty
hopes
rough
for
week.
Oradora. Oh no!
Oh, deals in.
That was the weakest hands in the board. I could tell you that Yuzukaze's hand was getting close to Diamond territory with the amount of shiny tiles he got from that can.
Definitely. Passant's patience paid off with all those the bamboo that he was able to hold on to for the entire game.
And that was the last dealer turn Leko has. He really needs to get like 1 or 2 more good hands to get back into it.
Yeah. Remember, he is currently in 3rd, so he does need to get enough points above Chilled to stave off elimination and make his way to the semifinals.
Gildo, currently dealer, might be looking to go for a big streak here. Though Yuzukaze getting a fast hand.
Yes, yeah. Ruining the days of everybody.
It's exactly what he wants as Yuzukaze. Just to make this game a low value, have like the first place guy finish without over 40k, and you're in a good spot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's a triplet, he's 1 away.
Wow. Wow, yeah.
Passant heads does not look that good. Looks rather slow. Leko also needs to fix up his hand. Not that fast at the moment.
Yeah, Passant hand is very awkward to play, I would say. He does potentially ruin one of his block with the 133 on Pinzu, but in favor of holding that dragon that he's banking on, I guess.
Oh, that's
making
standby
his
for
hand
Yuzukaze. Getting even another triplet.
on a pretty good weight, 4-7.
Now will Chill chase him. He's 2 away for his pairs. And Loco also got a great draw he can try to chase with.
Yeah. Leko's holding on to 2 of the Formon. Potentially as part of his pure double sequence that he's trying to push for.
Neko getting even another shiny tile.
Yeah.
Becoming 1 away for a big hand. Chill decides to take the more pawn approach instead of doing pairs. Just trying to get to Tenpai before they finish their hands, and there's another pawn. He was waiting for this.
Nice, he might actually get there.
No fear, drops the shiny tile, and he's in a pretty good 1 away.
Yes. Definitely like this hand.
And this is also good for Leko. You saw Passant just showed him the 3 bamboo is safe. And that's the only tile that does not fit in his hand. And there's Chill's Tenpai. Getting even a Dora with the red 5.
The 7 mon is looking a little stressful. It's gonna deal it on a double run, but without any error, it will be relatively painless.
Leko trying to make this hand open, keeping it 1 away. Oh, but just a Tsumo from Yuzukaze. A small hand, but de-escalates everything.
Picks up the Ura, gets the extra pawn.
Yeah, and with good mini points from the triplets of the terminals. When you get triplets of terminals and honors, those are worth more than usual triplets.
Yeah, worth more foo, for sure.
And that's a really bad spot for Chill. He just lost his last dealer turn, and unless he gets Leko less points, he might not keep going.
Yeah, Chilled is definitely in a precarious position now that he lost his last dealership.
A very funny turn of events. The top 2 players from the last game are now the bottom 2.
Izukaze definitely praying that his earlier performance will carry him through.
It was a very good early performance. If there isn't, if the 3rd and 4th place won't have a great game, I'm pretty sure he's in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Though, again, the Oma, the points for the placements, is very big. If he gets 4th place here, it will be bad. He really wants to get 3rd place to ensure his victory.
Definitely. Passant picks up, he has 3 shiny tiles in his hand.
Yeah, was a great draw. And now he's 2 away for a big hand. And that's a nice upgrade.
Wow.
Leko
might make his way in.
Leko also 2 away, now 1 away. Not that big of a hand, but at this point, doing a small hand won't be a bad idea. He's very close to the top 2 spot. He just needs to not let anyone get too high, and maybe get 1 more big hand. Yuzukaze just gets there first.
Yuzukaze with the first Richi on the 7 cell. The 7 of bamboo.
Not a very fast Richi, and doesn't have much value either. But when the dealer says Richi, everyone stops. A giant draw for Passant. No fear, drops the shiny tile. Becoming 1 away. Leko gets into even a better 1 away.
Chill is trying to... Oh, there's that Sumo! Was just about to say that Chill was trying to put his hand.
Yuzukaze just summoning.
Yeah. Getting another dealer round. Making a very nice draw. Chilled is now at 4th. Leko's gotta be happy about that one.
A lot of players hate those Tsumos. They are one of the most uninteractive thing, when one player just plays single player game and finishes his hands by himself.
Truly brutal.
But remember, Yuzukaze was the dealer. This might be not as bad for everyone if there is another round to finish a hand with. We saw that last time when there was a big chance at the end. Every time the dealer changed, that means another round for everyone to get the big hand they were waiting for. But Yuzukaze already 1 away, 4 pairs.
Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe he's gonna try and push this into 4 concealed triplets territory.
He's 2 draws away from it. 2 good draws here, and he will be Yakuman ready.
That is crazy. Unfortunately, the 9-mon is taken up in Leko's hand. And we already saw a 5-mon drop from Passant.
Yeah.
But there's potential. Very scary when it comes down to it.
Oh, but he gets an upgrade for the other side. Does not take it. He's really looking at those pairs or triplets. Passant with a very nice draw. Same with Leko. Both of them getting pretty close to a hand. Again, a low value. Most of the value is on the wall, actually. Not in anyone's hand. A bit at Chili's, a bit at Yuzukaze. But we don't see most of the Dora tiles.
Yeah, only one Dora showing, or one true Dora showing. A couple reds, red 5s out on the board.
Again, an upgrade for
Yuzukaze
Yuzukaze's hand. Will he take it this time? Does not. Especially as a dealer, you just want hands.
Yeah,
And,
Passant with the quick Ricci, just waiting on the 7-mon.
no value here, but the Ricci that scares everyone. And maybe like Yuzukaze will just sumo it.
Yeah. Passant always has the option to flip 3 Ura. You never know. Oh my
Ooh, that's
god,
another
found
triplet.
another triplet.
He is now 1 away from being Yakuman ready. Chill also 1 away, having the North as his wind. When that's the deal in time.
Oh,
it
Chill
drops it.
uses the hand by dealing into Passant.
Ura
Hey,
2,
nice,
that's
2
so
Ura.
unlikely. Giant for Passant, terrible for Chill. Chill is now in a terrible spot to get into the top 2, while Passant is showing daylight. After having a terrible first game, if he gets a few more dealer hands here, he got it.
Yeah, although he does, I think he will need to hit Leko a couple times
Yeah.
to make his way into semifinals, but that was wild. That was crazy. It looks like he's actually turned down a better weight on the 3-4, and he might be trying to push for the mixed triple sequence instead.
I'm not sure what's gonna be Chill's play here. It's gonna be really hard to get back into the mix. Right now it's just a very close fight between Passant, Yuzukaze and Leko. All of them are pretty close in points. Again, Yuzukaze might be looking very down on points compared to them, but he has such a big lead from the first game that it's actually close.
Yes, absolutely. Passant drops a little shiny tile, the little Dora, and Leko decides it's time to open his hand, maybe speed this game up.
Yeah,
I think Leko
Leko might know
that if he...
Yeah, he might have better mats than me, and maybe he knows that a small hand here will give him the second place.
Exactly, yeah. I think Leko knows that, hey, I'm dominating Chill right now. Passant got forced, and I'm not too far behind. Maybe I can just speed run this game out and secure my way into semifinals.
Chill, not sure what his option is. Probably a bit panicking, dropping shiny tiles. Maybe trying to force a half flash in here, but he would have more value just keeping those shiny tiles.
Definitely, yeah. It's really funny when you can try and push for a half flush, but if it's open, it's worth the same as holding on to 2 Dora.
Yuzukaze, 2 away. Not a very fast or good 2 away, but if he managed to get a small hand here, I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, Leko is 1 away, and maybe capitalizing on Passant opting for a more value-based
Oh, but he
hand.
gets Tenpai.
Wow, waiting on the force bamboo.
And what do you do is Leko, if you deal in here, it could be game over. Like, he doesn't know what Passant has. For all he knows, this might be a 12k hand that will just kill his game.
That is true.
Passant
Passant
makes
pulling out
sure,
the emotes, trying to tilt them a little bit, see if he's going to make them deal in.
He does make people afraid. Yuzukaze getting 1 away.
Leko,
Leko,
no fear.
takes the Tenpai, and it's faster than Passant's Tenpai. Now the one that has the best chance of winning this hand is Leko.
Yes, yeah. Although his weights are a little bit stranded, but Chilled may oblige to drop that 2-pin.
Leko just showing 0 fear. If I were him, I would be pretty scared out of a deal Richie, but
Sumo!
Passant just gets there. Against all odds. And there's the
And
Uradora.
flips the
This
next Ura.
Uradora is giant for him. The difference between 3 and 6k points, enormous. And Passant
Wow.
is in a great spot. I'm not sure if he's already in, but with 1 more good hand, it will be very likely.
Absolutely. And he's well on his way with this deal. Great shapes. Very easy decisions to make, which I think is also very important for some of these newer players. Just be able to say, hey, I don't need to make anything, do anything crazy, like read a hand. Oh, but he calls the the 9-pin, and it's sort of now his hand is going to be significantly slower, a little bit stuck, trying to force his way into maybe east tiles as the only way out. On the other side of things, it looks like Yuzukaze has it's a little bit slower, but he can get there slowly but surely. He's not too far away as well. Oh, but Leko drawing and discarding 2 east tiles immediately, and is now stuck in a position where Passant is in a lot of trouble now. I think Passant's only out is to try and hit either draw at the very end to continue his dealership, or somehow find his way into all triplets, which is going to be very difficult with his hand.
A good draw for Yuzukaze. Getting kind of close. Again, Yuzukaze just wants to finish it, but it's gonna be hard. All the points are so close, I can't really know who is at a better spot right now. Who wants to just finish this game knowing he's in the top 2? Not sure if they've all done the math. I can say I didn't.
I have not either.
Tenpai for Passant does not take it. Oh wait, he doesn't have a Yaku. I thought for some reason he grabbed himself a Yaku by now. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he called the 9-pin, and then the east got drawn by Leko. Very unfortunate.
I guess he's only out right now. Is either triplets or somehow making a pure straight in those Manzus.
Honestly, I think he may end up just going for the Tenpai payments at the very end. That might be what he's stuck with doing here.
Chill, one away. Yuzukaze also pretty close. Leko kind of far, but I could make it work. 2 away from him. Chill is by far the closest. I just tried to make a hand to finish this game. I think he doesn't really have a chance. He does take the Tenpai. I think
5 and 4.
His only way forward is with some can. He really needs to draw this red dragon and can on it. Sadly, he can't really can on the 5-pin. 5-pin will only be win.
Yes, yeah. Unless he wants to do something cheap like con that and then wait on the 2-pin and 4 mon.
Might be hard for him to do such a play.
Wow.
Big draw for Yuzukaze, getting Tenpai. Possible pure double sequence. Possible all simples. On the 6-pin, this is very heavy. On the 9-pin, it's very light. But the 9-pin, I don't think it's possible. All of them are dropped already, so it's just 6-pin. Passant getting his false Tenpai. Might look like he's Tenpai.
Forced to play defensively. Holds onto that 6.
That's the 4 bamboo, but again, he can't run on it. It's not an actual Yaku.
No, and then he deals!
Chill,
unfortunate.
Ending it. As we saw yesterday, sometimes the last place person just wants to finish the game, even if he doesn't give him the top 2 he wanted.
Absolutely.
Passant getting the big game he wanted, but this is all very close. I'll tell you in a bit just who made it and who didn't. Give me a second. Let's see. So 47.7 points for Passant. 20.6 for Leko. This is so close. All of them are gonna be around the 0 amount of points in the total. Like we saw in the last game, people are being like 80 points plus overall, but now all of them are gonna be around 0. Yuzukaze minus 23.6.
Wow, yeah.
I think Yuzukaze is in a great spot. I doubt he won't be qualifying. And chill.
Yeah.
It's very disheartening. I don't think he gets there. Now let's do the final calculations.
Very crazy game. game 2 on
Yeah,
this on this
extremely
set.
exciting.
Passant really making a huge comeback.
Did not expect it at all. Usually when you see such new players, you can't expect them to pull out miracles like that.
Yeah, definitely playing extremely well, extremely well. You love to see it.
I do have the scores. It's very surprising. I'm about to show you guys. So, in the first place, we have Mizukaze still keeping his lead. 34.5 points, being well above the rest. And Passant making a giant upset. As we said, guys, even if you have a bad first game, you might just make it back. The first place Uma gave him a lot, and he finished with a lot of points either. Just making it barely into the second place. And Leko, our expert one player with much experience on his hand, almost getting there. Having a really solid second game. Just not enough. He really needed this one more big hand that he could not get. Or maybe it was that Dylan in the end. Hard to say. And Chill, as we all knew, having such a bad game as the last game while having such a small lead after the first, that's not enough. So this will mean Mizukaze and Passant are going to qualify for the semifinals. That's pretty crazy.
Very impressive. I'm very impressed by Passant.
Yeah, he
being
was
able to
completely
string
new to the
together
player.
the hands. Yeah,
He seems to have a very clear understanding of what's going on.
yeah. I was making some comments that like, hey, maybe he feels like he's too far behind and he's just gonna start going for trying to hit big Yakuman hands. But no, he just grinded it out. Hit some really nice hands, nice some value. Got some lucky on a couple Ura that tipped the scales, put him over the top.
Okay, now we do have one more group for today. Let's talk about them right now while they're getting ready. So, in the second group, let's hope this time I won't mess it up. I go straight back to Stiboro, who I did already show. He's Adept 3, favorite Yaku Pinfu is going to use Reina, not wheelchair version. He is a very competent player. And I have great faith in him in ERBS, so I do here as well. I do think he might just be able to clean this lobby, but usually that won't be a hard task for him, but this lobby is very stacked. It has Neil. Neil is very scary. You might have seen him as the participants here in the chat. He was already talking about Suji. You heard us talking about a bit earlier. It's a more advanced defense strategy that only higher skill level players know. Might not be really useful here, but it clearly has high understanding. He's Expert 3, the highest possible rank for this tourney. His favorite Yaku is After a Kan, a very anime-like Yaku, done usually by Saki. He's a seasoned player, a lot of South games, and he has very good stats. Usually when you have this many games, having good stats, it's hard. He has also somewhat high call rate, and as I did say before, calling could be a very big noob mistake, but if done well, it is a part of the game, and he might just have done it. He has no Yakumans, but don't let it think he is a bad player. Yakumans are not a big part of the game, and I know a lot of high-ranked players with no Yakumans at all. Now, someone else that's high-ranked and I would be afraid of is Tatufo. Tatufo got very close to Master multiple times. Kind of a player that's always on and off. Gonna use Chiori. His favorite Yaku is All Simples. Again, a very easy to get Yaku and a very strong one. He has really low call rate, which is again just a very solid discipline. A lot of times it's easy to pawn and chi. It's a lot harder to just keep it closed. You know, at the same time, it does main Cicella in the ERBS, so maybe not as scary. She's quite harmless. It did get a 4 concealed triplets. This is one of the easiest Yakus to get without being a crazy person. The easiest Yakuman. And our last player, Kion, using another one of the collab characters from Love is War, just like Neil, using the Kaguya. Adept 2, favorite Yaku, all triplets. A very pawn-like, more of a new player-friendly Yaku. Again, he's a new player with very high call rate and low average hand value. You can probably expect him to have cat-like tendencies, just trying to go for the fastest hand. But this sometimes works. We saw yesterday Superior doing very much the same thing, and it's got him through it.
Yeah, if you're able to just keep winning and making your hands, there's not a lot to stop you. You can definitely frustrate a lot of other players who get a little bit annoyed with the Cat style, just calling every tile and making your hand work.
Now let me check if the other players are getting ready. Yeah, all of them did the ready check, and they're just still getting into their spots. So during this time, I will like to go away for a bit. So we'll be taking a short break until the start, about 4 minutes. I'll see you guys right back after. Okay, break time over. All the players already got into their game, and we don't have much to wait before we start. Let's see how much we have to wait. 70
Just
seconds.
a minute.
And we're there.
This will definitely be very interesting to watch the two expert threes play. We'll see if they've learned any tips from how to play some defense that we may have been not quite seeing in previous lobbies.
As we saw in the last group, being expert does not mean getting into the semifinals. And they are also battling each other. I don't think both of them will get on. Only one. But maybe I'm wrong.
It will be tough. You just need to hit a hot streak from one of the adepts, and you can really really ruin someone else's day.
So, with the other players, we did say we aren't really expecting much defense. But even being expert 3, you are supposed to know at least the basic principles of defense. And I did say earlier, Steamoro also knows that. So he'll probably have a bit of a high-ranked kind of lobby going on. We'll see if Kyo could manage through it.
Absolutely. I think one big advantage that Kyo may have is that if they're able to make some quick hands, make some quick reaches, the defense will come to play, and the opponents will just end up folding a lot. The one downside is, you did mention that Kyo does like to open the hand a lot and just make some quick calls, but that can also lead the way into just consistent wins.
Though with this hand, he might get Tenpai very fast if he does open it. Neil, though, already showing a crazy hand, having not only high speed but also very high value, being one away right now. Also having a chance to turn this into a mixed triple sequence is just missing one tile, and this hand becomes even crazier.
Absolutely. Very scary hand to play around.
Steamoro.
We may need a Kyo to defuse it with the just calling a bunch.
Boom.
Tatufo also one away. Steamoro not very far. Everyone seems to be getting somewhat of a fast hand. This is bad for Neil, especially as the dealer with such a big hand. You really want to just get it before everyone, but they might get it before you.
Absolutely.
Neil getting a change, will he take it? I don't think it's correct, he does not take it.
I
think that's Tenpai for Kyo. Very fast. Took the pawn, ready to steal the round. Waiting on either the 8-pin or the 8-manzu. Which might come out of Steamoro's hand.
Yeah, very easily. The 6-8-8 could easily end up dropping one of the 8-pin.
At the same time, it is his only pair right now. So maybe not as likely for it to drop. Tatufo just waiting for the Tenpai. Dropping the 1 away, trying to get something bigger. Becoming 1 away instead, 2 away instead.
Yeah, a little bit inefficient, but maybe a little bit scared, or just maybe just trying to get some of these tiles out.
An upgrade for Neil, very big. The chance of mixed triple sequence seems to have diminished because of it, but who cares? He just wants speed and value with such a big hand.
Absolutely. As dealer, you just want to get it done with.
You can see something that... Ooh, Kyo does not take the weighted upgrade because it is full written. That's probably correct. But we did see Neil, every time he drew one of his duplicate tiles, he didn't just throw them, he threw one of his original tiles, trying to make people think I'm changing my hand, even though it stayed the same.
Very interesting. I don't know if there's a huge benefit for doing so. Maybe you give the wrong impression of,
Actually,
he's getting close to his hand.
I did retap about it recently because I was also doing that a lot, and I was told it's usually bad. So I just now drop tiles instead of doing something like that.
I see. Yeah, somehow like it technically can give away some information about like, oh, my hand is getting better.
Yeah.
Which can change some play.
Anytime you don't just drop the tile you drew, you share a bit of information.
Yeah.
And that's 10 for Tatufo. Right. He got it.
Riichi.
Not taking the
But
value.
So did Nil.
Oh, Nil with an even bigger hand. Oh, that's a
but
very
he has
scary
Riichi
chase.
on the tile.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. And it
Deals
does seem to get
on
Ura. Will it be like 3 Ura? It is
3
Ura.
Ura!
That means an Haneman. Imagine being Nil right now. Having a giant hand as the dealer, just stealing into Haneman straight away. That's so demoralizing.
Oh, that is so brutal. That's so hard to come back from.
Tatufo, I guess he knew something we didn't. He saw that Ura 3 in the future and knew just exactly how to get there.
Out come the emotes, the thank you from Tatufo, just the question marks from Nil.
Okay. Some tournaments have emotes disabled, and they can disable each other's emotes, but it's big mind games. The first emote always goes unchecked. Steamoro trying to go for a half flash, I think. Yeah, it does not take the chi. He could have tried to maybe go for a small hand here. Tatufo though gets a big draw. Getting pretty close to a good hand of his own. While Neil also getting a good draw. Not that big of a hand as
Kyo
last
has a
time.
pretty quick hand too.
Yeah, Kyo always seems to find that dragon to get things going.
Very conducive for the playstyle.
Yeah.
Being able to just call tiles where you want when you want and not having to worry.
And especially versus those expert 3 players that probably think those honor tiles don't have much value. They'll just drop them and Kyo will just always get the triplet of them.
Very true, very true.
I'm really concerned for Steamoro here. His blocks are kind of weak, and all the other hands seem scary, especially with this draw by Neil. Getting another shiny tile. Still not one away, but oh, Steamoro gets a good draw. Could be the bridge you needed for the Tap Flash.
Maybe, yeah. I'm actually surprised that he didn't consider a little bit more about calling on that 7 of Bamboo to also smooth out his hand a little bit.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard when you have so many of the same tile to know exactly which kind of block you want.
Absolutely. Definitely when you get more experience, you can navigate those a little bit better, but
That
always
one
very
away.
stressful.
Can also open his hand to finish this.
Yeah.
Nail, not the exact draw I wanted.
Wow.
Making his hand a
Kyo-Kyo.
bit faster, but probably not by a lot.
Yeah.
Big for Steamoro.
Kyo has a backdoor chance into a mixed triple sequence. Just falling into the lap right now. Almost.
Yeah, though compared to the other players, Kyo seems pretty far. Not now though. A very good draw.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to choose what to drop here. There is a correct choice, but it's hard to see. I'm not sure this was one of the correct ones, but it's gonna work out either way. It's still pushing towards Tenpai. Steamoro may
Yes.
be scared. Dropping this North tile instead of the 5 Manzu. And Neil finding exactly what he wanted, upgrading into a golden one away.
Wow. Perfect. Yeah. Absolutely love to see it.
I wonder if he will take the pawn into Tenpai. If giving the possibility.
Looks like Steamoro's gonna try. Looks like the red dragon might come out from Tatufo and give Kyo full pathway to just call whatever they want now.
And when you make calls, Neil just searches in the emotes, where is my turn? It does keep the turn. You can do that multiple times to make someone just have a much slower hand, but not getting their turn.
Absolutely. Unlucky for Kyo dropping the 9-mon, and then Nil
Tatufo
immediately
takes this
following
kill,
up
this is
with the
Tenpai.
drawing this card.
Won't be as big value as if he keeps it close, but yeah, a Tenpai is Tenpai, and he takes it. Well, Neil gets the deal in, but I don't think he just drops the 8 instead. Rather keeps the value. A no-brainer for him.
Kyo.
Gets the Tenpai.
Also in
A
Tenpai.
great wait. Steamoro looks like he might deal in. 4
Yeah,
Bamboo right
great.
now is double deal in.
It's a great weight, but it's also very precarious because a lot of the tiles are currently locked away with Steamoro and Tatufo.
I'm really scared. If Tatufo draws 3 Bamboo or maybe something near those Bamboo, he might just drop the 4.
Con for flow!
No Tsumo,
Oh,
but he can
hit.
change his weight here. Trying to maybe go for a Dora weight? No, he just goes for the wider weight. Getting another Dora though. He has a lot of mini points and now 2 Dora in his hand. Neil not sure what to do. He's just not in Tenpai. His hand is good, but you aren't doing anything if it's not in Tenpai.
Absolutely. Very
Same
tough.
with
Very
Steamoro.
scared.
Very scary round. We don't have many tiles left. Might just be a draw. No one is getting off. Both of the one away players staying on their one away. Not trying too much defense.
Yup.
Tatufo keeps Tenpai. No one
Definitely
getting the
additional
weight.
pressure.
If everyone
Yeah,
keeps
definitely.
dropping what they draw, I do think one of those players is gonna win. Just 2 more tiles.
Wild.
One left tile for Steamoro. He does not deal in. He does not get Tenpai as well, but looks like a draw.
We go again.
It's a bit unique because Steamoro and Neil, it's not like they were folding from the danger. They were pushing, just couldn't get there. Not very good draws.
Yeah. Wow, Kyo picking up the white dragons
Yeah.
again.
Always have a dragon to fight by his side. And this time, if you can get a pair of the south tile, could be a very big hand from the dealer.
That is true. Yeah, this could be a very quick hand and has potential for a lot of value Dora. Nice draw on the 6 of bamboo.
Tattoo 4, look at his 4 bamboo. He could can this. He's choosing to wait with it because, yeah, the 4 bamboo can also be used in other ways aside from the can. But if he gets close to Tenpai, he will probably take the can, making this game very exciting.
Absolutely. He even used the con to try and go for Rinshan with the season Saki energy.
And that's one away for Steamroller, also securing his pure double sequence on the 1-2-3 man. Won't be a very good wait, but one away this early. It's lovely.
Yes, definitely. It's a little unfortunate that it's on two conchons, 2 middleweights, but always a potential to get there.
And compared to other hands, Neil's hand is just the slowest, doesn't have one finished block.
Yeah, he's definitely suffering a little bit, but he does have the option to open up with the green dragon. Kyo decides to open the hand up as is the pattern of play, but also has to choose to discard the Dora as a result.
He's now completely relying on the dragon, and he got the pair. The pair was a very big thing for him. He now needs to drop one of the blocks, get the pawn on the white dragon, and he's in business. Will he though keep the pair, or will he maybe make a blunder? No, he does keep the pair, that's good.
I like that.
Steamroller having slight thoughts maybe on a more colored hand. Maybe he can get some kind of enough upgrades, but it seems unlikely.
Yeah. Steamroller is just hoping the draws work out a little bit more in his favor.
Ooh, and Steamroller gets there.
Ooh.
Will he take the Ricci?
There it is. Insta Ricci. Is he gonna slam it? There's 1 8 that's showing, or 2 8 that are showing, so it is a little bit limited on what.
But
you
at the
can
same
win
time,
on,
we see all of the 7 Sus on board. Steamroller knows he has 1 in his hand and 3 on board. The 8 Su is completely useless, the 8 bamboo. If someone draws it, he won't be able to use it. And this makes, even though there is only 2 8 bamboo left, not a bad wait at all.
Definitely true, yeah. Well, one interesting thing is this is also a series known as also a blockade.
Okay, Kabe.
It's Kabe blockade.
Big draw for Tartufo. I'm not sure if he's going to continue with his can, as it might just help Steamroller and grief everyone on board. But he is 1 away right now with the can. Kyo trying to go for a triplet looking hand instead of keeping that sequence. Maybe because he sees the 4-man is safe and he just does not want to deal in.
Yep.
Neil somehow got it. It was the slowest one, but he eventually got there with a 2-sided weight.
But his hand is unfortunately drawing pretty dead. All the 7 are...
Yeah, he can't get them, and all the 4s are in Tartufo's hand. And if Tartufo can't, this will be a closed can. He can't rob it. And yeah, there's the title. I was talking about it. It's not gonna fit into any hand.
Yes, that is true. But unfortunately, Nil ends up dealing in, getting punished for chasing the Ricci.
Might be pretty sad for Nil, having a bad start for this game. Even though both of these games, he seems to have played well, fighting himself into a good tenpai. But that's the way of Mahjong. Sometimes you're just not lucky enough and someone else wins the hand.
Absolutely, yeah. Very tough.
Kyo just keeps getting good hands. Maybe not the dragons he's used to, but this could very easily be an all simples he would easily like to open. 2 away, even. Very nice hand. Just needs one of those 3 to become a block, and then 1 more tile to finish one of the blocks.
Yeah, Tatufo's very close on his hand. Has the potential to open with the green dragon, like you said. Make use of some of the Dora.
And a very small chance of a mixed triple sequence. If he does draw the 4 Manzo, he could try to make it work. Instead, he's just completely taking away the 2-1 Manzo block, trying to work with other stuff. Probably faster, but that's the mixed triple sequence thrown outside the window. And there's the pawn.
Yep.
Now he's 1 away, but on his road for 1 away will be a Dora drop.
Nil is getting some really good draws as
what
well.
A crazy draw. Exactly what he needed.
Yeah. It's actually very close to eat the pure straight if he wants
Yeah.
to go for that.
Keeping that option alive. Oh, a nice upgrade for Tatu for getting one more shiny tag.
Yeah, Kyo has a really monstrous hand now.
Oh, and that's the
getting
dial he needed.
another door.
リーチ
Yeah.
2-1 bamboos are out, but it's still really good. Having a Richie that's also pinful. Might look like it's not because of the triplet on the 4, but it's actually not a triplet. It's a pair and one of them in a 3-4-5. Having 2 shiny tiles on the 4 bamboo, the dealing will be very big. Tatufo though, no fear at all, dropping the Dora to get his weak Tenpai.
Wow.
Showing
That's crazy.
that's something you'd expect of an expert player, showing zero regard for safety. Just going in.
Neil pumping the brakes a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, all the other players seem a bit far. Neil won away, but Stimoro, I'm not sure he can really advance this, and he's probably just gonna try to play safe. Did Neil get his standby? He did. Having a possible two-sided weight, but he has to drop Dora for it. The Dora though, it looks to be safe. As
Yes,
Tatufo did show
Tatufo cleared that. Oh, he reaches on the winning
7.
tile.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
ドラ
Again, this kind of play from Tatufo, crazy, probably not correct, but worked out perfectly.
Better be lucky than good sometimes. Better be lucky than safe, rather.
Seems like the flow is finally slowing down for Kyo. Getting no dragon to work with, or a very simple hand. And Stimoro, maybe finding his shred of flow. Pretty nice looking hand. Just need to clean some of the dirty parts of it and he's ready.
Absolutely. We see as a big difference these players getting rid of their honor tiles very quickly at the start of the round.
Yeah, I didn't expect it completely from the silver players, but maybe they're not as silver as we thought. Tatufo already 2 away, but his way for a 2 away is dropping Dora, which we've seen recently he does not care at all about. If it means getting Tenpai, he will drop the Dora. And he might just do so right now.
And he does.
Having pure speed, while disregarding any value this Dora could have given.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, everyone's kind of fixing their hand, getting close. Stimoro having 4 pairs, but also being 2 away for the other option.
Yep,
That's the
Milla's
5th
back
pair.
to being one away.
It's 1 away for Stimoro.
Ooh. But he chooses not to go for the 7 pairs. Drops the 1 of bamboo.
I wonder if that's on purpose. Usually throwing away a 1 away to become a 3 away or a 2 away seems a bit silly. Tatufo though getting a draw he really wanted. He's 1 away himself now. Dropping the
Very
2-1
nice, very
man,
nice.
keeping the other blocks. Oh, and a great draw for Stimoro. Making his maybe no pair option a bit better.
Yes, he's being rewarded for shifting off the pairs.
Now
リ
he
ーチ
just needs a triplet or a sequence, but Neil got there.
Neil waiting on 7 of bamboo. Definitely a lot of them floating out in the wall. So we'll see if he is able
Is
to.
any player gonna be afraid? Or is everyone just gonna keep pushing? It does seem to be kind of a boot on the board. Everyone's just gonna keep going forward. And if they do, it's gonna work out great because Neil's weight, not very good.
Absolutely.
It's the
Oh,
other 7
Tatsuko
bamboo, it does
first
not
tap.
fit. He's probably gonna drop it. Oh, he folds.
Chooses to play defensively, using the Genbutsu, the Richi
He
tile.
actually still stays on 1 away, going for a 3-6 bamboo instead of the other triple weight. But Neil somehow scissors it. This Sumo does not achieve much.
ドラ
It gives him a few points, but at the same time he's so far behind and he was not dealer that it's a bit sad that that's only what his hand came to. But it is a stepping stone. It is the first game. You don't need the first game to be a terrible success. You just need it to not be a terrible failure.
Yes. But even if it is, there's still chances to make a comeback, as we saw from
Yeah.
last game, last lobby. Nil picking up some great tiles. Kyo also picking up a really nice 7-pin to finish out that 8-9 block.
Okay, you're looking great. If you could just get maybe another of the 12 style to push in some value, because if he does not, it will be a pretty small hand. In any case, though, it's one away now. This drop was probably correct, because now he has a chance to maybe make a mixed triple sequence work. It will deny him a lot of speed, but if he does draw the 7 or 9 pin, but before that he just gets his Richie pin full. Doubt he would not take it.
Yep, I think it's the Richie slam right here.
Yeah, sometimes the game just autoplays for you. You drop a few tiles that's not connected to anything, and you see the Richie button. And there's nothing the other players can do about it.
Absolutely.
And the Ipatsumo!
And Ipatsumo!
Now, he did not get any Urodora. If he did, we would see his character shining. So only 5 to 100. Still though, pretty nice hand with the amount of points he had. Getting rather close to the first place spot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if I'm correct, that was Neil's dealer turn, right? He probably touched a bit to do a bit more with it, but that's his last dealer turn for this game. Him getting a better spot right now seems like a rare shot. And Kyo with 2 triplets already. He can get a few more in them and it will be close to Yakuman territory. Steamoro, not the best hand, might try to make it into a half flash. Tattoo 4. The hand does not look bad, but I remind you, this East is no longer Yaku High. We are on the South Ramps now.
That is true. He may opt for something that's closer to 7 pair. But it is pretty far away for that.
I wonder though, out of Nil perspective, you just try to get as many points as you can from this game, or do you try to go for something bigger? Because this 2 away won't end up with much value. Oh, that's pretty scary. Kyo got himself a pair and a few better blocks. If that pair becomes a triplet, he's very close to dangerous territory.
I would love to see it. We always love to root for an underdog.
I don't know, it is showing this game. Kinda hard to call him an underdog.
Very true, very true.
Again, we don't know these kind of players. I didn't ask them how much of Mahjong they know outside. Maybe they're like gods in Tenor, maybe they played other platforms and they didn't tell me, but they're actually very good players. Like, would have expect Kyo to just do crazy calls, but no, his calls have been only when needed. Very smart calling so far.
Very stable play.
A good draw for Steamoro. I'm getting somewhat close, just not close enough. Neil, 1 away. Hopefully he can keep these all simples together, and if he does, this hand might be the 8k he wants it to be. Kyo also at 1 away. Not the triplet dream he might have wanted, but a 1 away is a 1 away is the dealer.
Yeah, you will have to give up Dora for it, but...
A big draw for Tattoo 4. Thinking he gets to 1 away himself, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
He just can't throw the Tenpai. Okay, getting another pair now is very much in the territory of 3 concealed triplets. I don't know if it will become 4, because I think Tenpai will become before it becomes 4 concealed triplets. But again, as Taipa is the dealer, especially one with such a high likelihood of being a 12k hand, as 3 concealed triplets, I'm sure he'll take it.
Absolutely, yeah.
A good draw for Steamoro. Is that Tenpai? I think it is. No, it's 1 away. Sorry. I thought it's
1 away.
1 to 3.
Yeah, but it is a good shape on the 1-1-3-5-5.
Neil takes the pawn to get the Tenpai. This is a very low value hand unless he gets some kind of a can going. I guess just trying to make the best out of a bad situation, trying to get as many points as he can instead of losing more. But maybe it just puts him in such a big danger of dealing in right now. His weight is not good enough to contest some of the other players, I think.
Definitely very scary, yeah. Just waiting on 7 pin, 6 of bamboo. And we know the 6 of bamboo are pretty locked up, locked tight. So he's just going to be hoping to pull the 7-pin out from the wall.
Problem with making a hand such like Kyo, when you're waiting for triplets, you're working with very little possible tiles. Will Tatufo drop the 6 bamboo instead? No, he drops the 3 bamboo.
Wow.
But that's another pair. He's very close to, he's 1 away from having 4 concealed triplets. And he does seem to go for it.
And they're pushing it.
Now, if I were him, I would maybe just pawn and try to get a hand of anyway. He can still make just an all triplet hand if he opens it. And there's another 3 bamboo. He doesn't have many tiles left, but if he does draw 1 more triplet, he'll be Yakuman ready.
Absolutely, yeah. I would also definitely lean towards just making a call, making sure you get the Tenpai.
Ulirichi. It will also be
one monster.
Are the 1-man's good? There could be a bit of a trap.
Unfortunately, it could also be stuck in the wall, which is definitely a concern.
Kyo still dealing with the same thing. Tatufo. Maybe still 1 away, but yeah, it takes the Tenpai. Probably because it's a soon right. Draw. Kyo just not reaching there. It's very unfortunate. There's the deal in. Neil waited for it for a long time, but it came.
Yep. Just a simple 2-han hand. The slow grind begins.
His situation still seems unlikely as he won't have a dealer turn, but the more points he finishes up this round with, the easier the next one will be for him.
Exactly.
Steamore now dealer, getting 2 south tiles. Maybe he'll try to push this for a fast hand. Would not be a bad choice.
I like that, yeah. Being able to call this and have a lot more flexibility in how you play the rest of the game is super nice.
It does take it. Of course, when you take calls, you're not drawing, meaning the chance of lone tiles becoming blocks are 0. So this 8 bamboo that's the Dore would very much like it as a block. He can do it without draws. And a good draw for him, finishing the 5, 6, 7. All the other players...
opening the way for pure straight as well.
Yeah. All the other players seem pretty slow. I don't see them getting Tenpai anytime soon. And Kyo's East tiles, again, not Yakuai, and he knows it.
Yep. Yeah, I think he passed on Tatufo when he dropped the East.
Steamore seems to rather just drop the 8 bamboo while it's safe, instead of keeping it later. Keeping it might make it work, but at the same time, no one wants to have their last drop as a dangerous tile.
Absolutely.
So 2 away from him.
Will Kyo push for a half flush and call this East? This is the last chance to make that decision.
Yeah, it's pretty far. He's thinking about it. Does take it. Will commit to it. No, I think he's committing to either one of the dragons or triplets.
Wow.
It's very hard to commit to a single dragon that's not even paired, but you can make it work. And Steamore becomes 1 away if he takes this. Will he see it? Will he just want to keep it as a pair? He thinks of it as a pair and just not take the 1 away. Maybe a bit of a mistake. Meanwhile, all those players we said have slow hands. The slower your hand is, the easiest it for it to upgrade. And this is what's happening with the other players. They're getting very close.
Definitely, yeah. We may be seeing one of the downsides to Kyo's playstyle of being very call happy. Find yourself a little bit stuck in some of these situations where it's like, well, now what do I do?
He finally find himself the 1 call he should not have taken. Getting to Tenpai from here, especially now seeing that the red dragon is defeated, it's gonna be hard. He sees that he's close to Tenpai, but he probably knows no Yaku here. Unless maybe he forgot about the situation. Forgot that the East is no Yaku in these rounds.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't think he did. He took so many times to do the second pawn and he completely skipped the first pawn. I think he did know it, but maybe his plan was just not really coherent.
Yeah, maybe he got caught in between 2 different plans. It was like, oh no, I got tripped up trying to finagle my way, move my way through.
Neil 2 away for a possible big hand. Maybe even all simples. He can do a pawn right now on the door and become 1 away for an all simples Dora 3.
That is true, yeah. Drop these annoying little 9-pin that he doesn't actually necessarily need because he has a lot of pairs sitting around.
Steamroller, it could have been Tenpai years ago. Oh, but he finally finds it. And this Tenpai is also a chance for pure straight if he gets it on the 4-man. He just need to drop this 3. We'll be waiting for the 4 and 7. And the 4 would be 3 hand. Yeah, he does take it. Now, some greedier players would drop the 1 pin here, trying to also make it into half flash. But you're the dealer, it's late. Just take the Tenpai.
Yeah, for the dealer, it's pretty much always better just to push your way through and get to the next
is.
And he finds it tomorrow.
That's a nice hand for me. I think 6,000 points. Oh wait, it wasn't the 7, my bad. It wasn't the pure straight he was looking for. Still.
Yeah, unfortunately he missed on the 4 mon pure straight, but gets the bonus as dealer, and it's gonna keep on going.
I think it's gonna be a lot harder in this game for players to keep efficiency if Neil and Tattoo keep playing like that. They have good efficiency. The dealers won't be able to streak if they're always going for hands without defending, because eventually the hand will get Tenpai first, and they don't have the much of a reasoning of defense to try to maybe let the dealer do his thing and take what you can get. So I don't see Steamroller streaking a dealer here for too long.
Yeah, definitely a challenge. Let's see.
A nice draw for Tattoo 4. Still kind of far, having 4 pairs, but he could make other stuff work.
Yeah.
Big draw for Steamroller.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. He also keeps the acceptance for the Dora, which is very much correct.
Yeah, definitely like that.
QQ seems really far. Gonna be hard to advance with this hand.
Yeah, the North Call is also dead, so
well, Tattoo for
unfortunately, no Yaka hide there.
This looks like a very nice all simple hand. He just needs to drop this 2 east, and he can open it easily. Good draw for Steamroller. I think this is 1 away from him. Golden 1 away.
Yeah,
big hand.
Lot of options.
And again, maybe he dropped the 3 pin, but he can still accept the 4 by just dropping the 7.
Yes, and Tatsuo is doing exactly that. He's going for
That's the pawn.
The Tanyo hand, just to move the game along, get to his own dealership, go on a run himself.
Will Tattoo forget his win, or will Steamroller get Richie first? How are the other players doing? Neil is 1 away. Not the best 1 away. It will be kind of hard to fight with this. And Kyo in very much of a mess of a hand. I doubt he will
very
be able to do much
messy.
with this.
I think Kyo may end up in 7 pairs, or trying to go for 7 pairs here.
Steamroller just waiting patiently. He knows he can't use those calls. Now that's a lot of 3 and 4 man gone and the 6 man gone. The 2 and 5 are gonna be hard to use.
Yes, yeah. There's the Riichi.
We got the triplet side of it. That's not painful anymore, but he'll just take the Tenpai. Even though the weight isn't very good, but we do have 1 rare chance. If Tattoo draws the 6 man, and if he's crazy enough, he might can. And then Steamroller could rob that can for extra points. Making for a pretty
robbing
epic
a
moment.
con. Love it.
Nice draw for Kyo.
Absolutely. Kyo is actually very close as well. I think they're on Riichi as well.
Yeah, that's it.
2-9.
Scary round. Will be the one to deal in. I doubt Tattoo could really fold in this type of situation.
Oh, instantly drops the last tile.
Now, as much as Tatoo's hand was small, he is getting all of the Richie sticks.
That is true. Still a 4,000 point total hand.
As much as Timo did not get his hand, seeing his second place opponent getting stomped like that, that's good. If we can finish this game with just the second place, as we said, the difference between third and second is giant. Any one of those players getting in the second spot will be in a great chance to finish first and second with the second game.
Absolutely.
Though I'm not sure Steamroller can do much with this hand. Doesn't seem to be very fast, while Kyo has a bit better thing going on. Again, not that great compared to the other players I wanted to say, but Neil's hand, not very good. Tatufo though, 2 away, could close this game out, is something I would say if this was ranked, but if he gets a hand win here, he'll just keep going.
Finds the south pair. Makes his hand a lot more flexible in terms of advancing it quickly.
And did I say it was 1 away? I'm sorry, it was 2 away.
Nil is also hoarding wins on his side. 2 norths and 2 easts. And the south.
I hope he's gonna keep his head up and not try to go for anything too crazy. If he can get a direct hit Mangan run here, he could be avoid 4th place. And
yeah, definitely.
can easily happen with a good Richie. But then again, he could try to make something crazy happen. All of the wins he has, the norths and the easts, are not Yakuai for him. Oh, but that's the
Tatsufo's
4th pair.
ready.
Tatufo's hand is small, but it will get him the other he wanted. Will Steamboat deal in? Will he just drop something like the 9 pin? Yeah, he does. Tatufo can change weight. Will he change weight? The 1 and 2 bamboo have already dropped. Yeah, so he chooses not to. Maybe creating the Suji drop to trick Neil. I don't know.
Yeah.
Neil now 1 away for not pairs.
Ooh,
Steamboat getting a good draw. Might just drop the 3. No, instead he drops one of the pairs. Keeping himself out of danger. Or still
Very
going
patient.
to standby.
Very patient, yeah. Maybe he's a follower of the cult of Sanzo.
And look at Kyokyo's pawn. Again, those pawn habits. Not getting very good plays. Not really finding a very good Yaku. Well, Steamoro is going fast towards a big hand, but he has a mine that he might just trip on. I really hope for him he draws the 4 bamboo and not the 6 bamboo, because if this 3 becomes useless, it will be hard to keep it. Well, that's an upgrade for Tatufo, getting a bit more value to his hand, keeping the same weight.
Nice
having
Dora.
a chance to even upgrade it more. Kyokyo gets false Tenpai, as he does.
Yep. It's not the worst in terms of trying to pivot that back into an all triplets hand.
Ooh, an upgrade for
It is
Simoro.
doable.
He is now 1 away, and again this 3 bamboo could be the one to drop. Would be a Tsuma if Kyokyo had a normal hand. Not the case. An upgrade for Simoro if he drops the 8 pin, yeah. Even more value, has the 3 red 5s in his possession.
The red Exodia. That's actually pretty crazy for tomorrow.
Kyokyo 1 away from doing a triplet hand instead. Would very much like to just get a quick run here, get his 2nd place. He needs a really lucky draw.
Absolutely.
Tatufo probably getting restless. He's been on tempo for so long, but it's not coming.
It
There's
is still,
yeah. There is a lot of bamboos in the wall. Not 3 bamboos.
Yep. Yeah, three winning tiles. Stemoro is the only one who has a landmine in his hand. Kyokyo picking up Dora. Waiting on changing up his weight a little bit, his potential weights for his all triplet hand.
As much as one of them is in Steamoro's hand, one of them is also the Dora indicator. And I'd like to remind there is also a chance that more of those 3 bamboos are in the dead wall, tiles that cannot be accessed normally. So as much as you might think there is 2 3 bamboos Tatufo can get, there also might be 0. And he'll just get Tenpai. After we gave him so much time, he managed to get there.
Wow.
Not much value, but he'll get whatever he can get.
Tomorrow's a Tenpai.
And Steamoro chose the correct weight.
Tile.
And Kyokyo with the Forsu of Doom. Will he drop it? He does not. It seems like it's gonna be a draw.
You made it to draw. Oof.
And this is good for Steamoro. I think it's put him for Kyokyo.
Yeah, Kyokyo having to pay up his pay up the 3k.
And also good for Neil. Looks a bit more easier to get a 3rd place now.
And we go again. Kyokyo finally picks up a Yakahai in hand, the 2 west, the west pair. And immediately calls that for the hand. Oh, Nil is very close as well. He's 1 away.
Yeah. Wait, this isn't 1 away. It's 2 away.
It's 2 away. 2 away. You're right.
QQ finally finding a Yaku pawn. Been a while since one of his pawns actually gave him a Yaku, but if he does make this hand, remember it's not just 1k, there is Richie Sticks and Honba. Winning this hand will be a minimum of 3.3k, giving him his second place.
Absolutely. But Samara looks like he's cleaned out
Yeah,
his hand
Stimoro 1 away.
quite a bit, quite well. Wow.
Just need
Nice.
a pair or one of the sequences to work out. QQ getting closer. And that's an
Excellent, red
upgrade.
5.
I wonder why he's keeping that 9 so hard in his hand. If he would keep this 8 instead, it would have been so much faster. But I guess now he has a slight mixed triple sequence chance.
That is true, yeah. But also keeping the 8 would also gives
And
more
there's the
opportunities
tenpai.
for...
Though his
Yeah.
weight... Will he take the pinful weight or will he just try to wait maybe on the 9? I think he does have a pinful weight here on the 2-5 Manzo.
リーチ
Yeah, he does take it. This will be Richie pinful to Dora. For a great hand for him that will close it out for him. And if Tatufo deals in and maybe has some Uradora revealed, he could get first place even.
Yeah, very true. I think it's somewhat unlikely. Tatufo probably will play around it, but there's always a chance.
Yeah.
That something just slips through. Looks like Kyokyo is also going for a half
You know what?
flush on Monzu.
I think even Tsumo Haneman does it. You just need to Tsumo and get one Uradora. And because of all the sticks that are already on the board, and because Tatufo is dealer and he pays a little bit extra, it could be what loses him his first place.
Yeah. Very good point.
Though Neil getting very close. Same with Kyokyo. Not letting Stimoro get a free game.
Yes, yeah.
Kyokyo might be close to half flash, I'm not taking it though.
Ooh. Interesting.
Well, there's a deal in time.
Playing
Will
a little
Tatufo drop it? It does not. He plays safe, he knows exactly what a Dylan does for him here.
Yes, yeah. I think he's gonna hold on to that forever.
Neil
At this
keeps his
rate.
one away.
Use it as the pair.
Again though, he can't really let Stimoro get away. You wait long enough, Stimoro will Sumo.
Yeah. Fortunately, I think Tatufo is fully folding on this hand.
And Kyokyo is in
it's just
Tenpai
gonna
for the
hope.
4 bamboo. If he gets it...
Ooh.
Oh, that's the 4 bamboo, but Neil gets Tenpai with it. Which Tenpai will it
Yeah.
click? The 4 and 7 pin. 3 players at Tenpai, Tatufo seems to be on the defense.
Very dangerous for
Oh,
Tatufo. Oh,
Neil
the
just
Sumo.
chose immediately.
Tatufo.
And this could give him second place. Sumo's taking everyone points and getting the...
一発ツモ
This
天
big.
フ三ヤオ
Yeah,
ドラ
it's Haneman. It's giving him second place.
Come
The patience paid off.
ハネマン
Wow. Making the comeback.
And because of that small point chest, Kyokyo somehow got 4th place.
Oh
Doing the
no.
impossible.
That's so sad.
And maybe the expected outcome, the expert players on top. Now, this
Wow.
isn't giant leads like we're used to. Just plus 35 and minus 31 as the extremes. Everyone can
Yeah,
still
definitely.
go either way.
Yeah. Definitely very possible to make a comeback for Kyokyo. We saw it come back from negative 43 or something close to that. And make it into semis.
Now, give me a second to do the scores, and we'll get into the second game. And the final game for today. And minus 31 for Kyokyo. Very unfortunate. He looked in a great spot until this upsetting last sumo. So, now I'll show the scores that are not very surprised to all. I do this, and then I do this. There we go. So, Tatufo, first place with 35.8 points. Not that many points to make him have a free second game. He still needs to play careful. We see in the last group, someone had an even bigger lead, and it was very close. He almost didn't make it. Neil manages to make a comeback, getting a nice second place. Just need a good second game, and he's there. Stimoro and Kion, both of them with minus points. Not that much. Very much comebackable, but for sure a bit hard on the mental. Now, I also share the scores with the players instead of they were not looking at the stream, because they should not. Give me a second.
Absolutely. The players are also definitely excited to play. We're just 2 minutes away from
Oh, did they already
being
start
live
again?
on Spectate. Yeah.
That's great. A lot of times, when a players get a game, they just need to do the next one immediately after, giving no time to wait. And that could be good and that could be bad. A lot of times when players do too many games in a row, they start playing more automatically, not thinking about the things maybe that they should have think.
Yeah, you can definitely feel the chance of losing a little bit of focus, and making some more mistakes. But also on the other side, hey, maybe you're able to leverage some efficiency, some momentum. If you believe that, you don't want the Mahjong gods to stray too far away from you.
So this would be the last game of the qualifiers. After that, we'll have the full group of the semi-finalists, and I'll have to check in with them when we can actually do the semi-finals. From the semi-finals, 4 people will get to the finals, and that will be that. They will compete for the grand prizes, and again, there is also a prize for the highest winning hand. We didn't see any too crazy hand in today's groups. We still have the hand from yesterday, which was 24k by Sona. So that's still the reigning champion hand, but it's not that hard to topple. We still have a good amount more games in the semi-finals and finals. You just need one Yakuman.
That is true. The highest point hand is dealer by one, so there's a little bit of room at the top, but you have to be very ambitious to hit those. We have seen a couple players already work their hands towards maybe to the concealed 4 triplets, but not able to get over the hump
and the game begins, and
seal a win.
I immediately see that Timoro's hand looks glorious, getting a very fast hand, 2 shiny tiles, and a mixed triple sequence chance.
Definitely, yeah.
Not bad at all as well, being 2 away with a shiny tile of his own, having also a chance of pure straight. Oh, and the 2 bamboo to make it even more likely.
Nice. Kyo turns down the pawn on the to open the hand on the non-Yaku tile, which
maybe
is
learning from last game.
You always love to see it. Small improvements.
Nildo, he didn't get the best hand. He seems pretty far away compared to the other players. And Tato for getting himself another Dora, becoming 1 away.
Yeah.
Not on the pure straight, but he should still do great.
Absolutely. I'll take 2 Dora instead of a pure straight win if it comes to it.
Near a small upgrade, and because of his 5-man drop, this upgrade might not be the exact thing he wanted, but it's still good, and he still might be able to get the pure straight. If he does draw a 6 here, he can try to make both of them work, both the Doras and the pure straight.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but he may actually might actually be what he goes for here. Looking at his 5 bamboo draw.
It does seem to change his hand, and the hand now also have a small chance of becoming a full flush.
Yes, yeah.
Kyo's
hand also shaped well.
Yes, Timoro just got a giant draw, becoming I would like to say 1 away, but I think he's just missing the pair for it to be 1 away, yeah. So
yes,
2 away.
Missing the pair. And he draws the pair right then.
Let's see which sequence he will go for. Will he take the more Tanyo-like sequences? Or will he try the 7-8 because the 7-8 might be faster? No, he's going for the Tanyo side. Going for value.
Let's see if Kyo makes a similar decision. If they were going to drop the 1 pin, having drawn the 7 of bamboo, but no.
Bit of another decision.
They're gonna keep going.
Though still gets close to 10 pi. Pair is starting to form up, but I don't think it's a bit too late to shift to a pair hand. Though Kyo seems to not be too against it. Neil gets a good draw, getting quite close, having a mixed triple sequence chance himself. With Tattoo 4, take the upgrade to full flush. He can take this pawn right now. I think he might be 1 away for full flush, Dora 2, which will be 12k points. It does take it.
2 away, I think. Yeah.
1 away. Just needs
1 away. 1 away. You're right.
Orochi.
It is a little awkward. No, actually, it's solid. It's solid.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
at all.
I like that.
The chance of pure straight now become really small because most of the one bamboos are gone. But
Yeah.
though if he does get it pure straight, it will be the bridge to Paiman, getting him 4 koi extra points. So will he get there?
You just
before
hope someone else
Steamroller?
can't.
Steamroller got an upgrade to
gives
his hand,
Sora-
ち
and it takes
opens
the
the
tenpai.
hand.
And that's not a bad tenpai if he drops a 3 pin.
Yeah. Understandable.
Nice. Oh, and Tatu
Ooh,
forgets the
instantly.
tenpai. Yeah, thinks nothing about it. It was just the dealing tile.
タイヤをドラドラ
It's sometimes that small decision like that, like Stimo did not know if to open or not, but it's exactly what blocked Tatufo's big hand. Kind of like last game, but Tatufo didn't do the strongest Richi, but it blocked something stronger.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Kyo. Dragons, they come back. They're back again.
Yeah. As long as the dragons are in this hand, you could make it happen.
ポン
Absolutely. Tomorrow.
Neil
Maybe
getting a
have
triplet.
a half look.
Neil with a pretty good hand that's not very far.
Mhm.
Well, Steamoro is getting an odd hand with a bit too many honors, but maybe he'll try to make something freaky happen here.
Maybe he's gonna attempt to go for some dragon-based hands. Finds the south pair. Very nice for him. I think he will force this into a half flush.
Yeah.
here.
The south is his wind, and he immediately gets it. A lot of times with those kind of hands, they could be slow, or they could be really quick if you just keep getting the tiles you want to pawn, but Stimo is not sure. He's getting gold feet and he's not taking it. I'm not sure why.
Wow. Very interesting.
I don't know if he's trying to go for pairs, but it's a much slower option.
Yes, yeah. I absolutely would have taken the call.
A lot of times there is kind of a strategy that forms in lower ranks that I can just skip the first pawn and take the second one, but the second one does not always happen. Some players forget the third west south tile might be in the dead wall. You might never see it.
Absolutely. I definitely remember going through that phase myself as well. Where I'd say, hey, I can just hold off. Maybe I'll sumo it. I don't have to open my hand. Get
Yeah.
a little bit extra value.
Same. It just happens with every player, it seems. The same kind of player does.
The
That
natural
for-
progression.
With a great one away. Stronger than a normal golden one away because of the triple-sided weight with a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Neil, also
Great
one
for
away.
Nil. Using the 5-6 block.
For just not there yet. Not a bad draw for Kyo. But compared to these competitors, it's by far the slowest.
Nil could call this
Yeah,
and go enter Tenpai. Open it up.
he does.
ポン
He sees he has a good amount of shiny tiles and he takes it. Kyo also gets one away. In Steamoro's hand, I don't think he can really get it in there now. Though it's a good defense hand.
Kyo found his way into all triplets.
Yeah, I hope he does take the all triplets because if he does drop the foreman for the better weight, he also deals in.
Yeah. Very bold.
Neil changes a bit his hand. Same weight though. What will Steamoro do? Will he keep pushing for it or just see the danger that's right now? Seems to be doing kind of both. This 9-man was pretty safe to draw. Tatufo just can't find the Tenpai. You'd probably think he would see the Richi button years ago.
ポン
Tomorrow started the process of calling his tiles.
It's very far though. And now he's, especially since he skipped the south pawn, now maybe he's regretting it. Tatufo found Tenpai.
リーチ
Nice Ruchi.
A good pinful, not much shiny tiles. Neil's hand, if he contests, is stronger, but Richi couldn't be anything. It could have Urodora that you can't really expect.
Definitely. Unfortunately for him. Oh, Tomorrow gets his south tile. His patience, ridiculous patience pays off.
No fear, dropping this 3-man. You would be right now one away for a big hand for Steamoro. 8k.
Yeah. Very
Neil,
scary.
Not sure what to do. He's in a good Tenpai, but he doesn't want to drop some of those tiles. And Steamoro finds Tenpai. He's not gonna drop the 6 bamboo because it's Tenpai for him. He's gonna top the red dragon instead, which will help QQ. Oh, but he's scared of the red dragon! Because non-red dragon have been dropped already, he got scared of it.
ピンフ
Very true.
Sometimes, as I said, those players are just afraid of the the dragon sets were not dropped. But if you did drop it, yeah, QQ would get Tenpai. But that would be that. He would still get his Tenpai and not deal in.
Absolutely. Very tough decision to make when you're so close and you see it's like, hey, this is like there's only like 1 or 2 6s left. There's no way he's waiting on this, and you just throw it out there and get caught with your pants down.
Everyone not having the fastest hand, but Statu4 with 4 pairs and other options outside of the pairs.
Yeah. Kyo has the green dragon.
Yeah, and immediately goes for it, I would assume.
Instant call? There's the call. Yep.
This hand,
Lot more
like his
flexibility
previous hand, has a lot more easier time getting to Tenpai. He just needs 1 more block, and he can get there quite fast. So this open hand was pretty fine. And he still manages to do his open hands without dealing hints, so far it's been going well for him this game. Again though, the amount of points he had last game kind of means he needs more than an okay game. He needs a very good game.
ポン
Definitely, yeah. It's gonna be pretty hard to get there with the relatively small hands you get from opening your hand and never being able to access the power of Ricci.
Tatu4 deciding to take the open hand path, and he's 1 away with it. He's not sure which block to prioritize, and he does prioritize the triplets. Kyokyo very close as well, and he'll find himself another Dora tile.
Yeah.
He's now 1 away. For a not bad hand at all. Stimor on the other hand, his hand seems far. I doubt he can get there before the other players.
Yeah, definitely a little slow.
Tatu4 dropping the 4 pin, afraid of having future full return. Now being a bit sad he dropped the 3. Kyokyo finds Senpai.
Always tough to see.
Waiting on the 6 man.
Single wait on the 6. Interesting that they didn't choose to wait on potentially drawing a red 5. Tatsufa doesn't convert the 7.
And he gets the upgrade. Can I put his way to 4-7 Bubo? Probably sees it. Yeah, he does. He's just
That's
trying
really good
to
for
get a block, but he can do it.
Yeah, Tomorrow's just drawing tiles that are just like slightly off from what you would.
Tatu4 can get Tenpai here, and he does get it.
But he deals
dealing
instead.
on the way, yeah.
Deals on it, yeah.
ロン
Tough.
パツ
Small hand though.
Yeah.
Not too upset.
I can understand those hands more if QQ was the dealer. But he only has 1 more deal around. I really hope he makes something with it. Because if all he can do is make small hands, he really needs dealer for it. Or he won't get the high first place he needs right here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's gonna be
Will Deal
very
take the
hard to
draw?
come back from
Or try to go for offense.
99杯
that.
Very
今は
disappointing.
Takes
こ
the
れで
draw.
よし
9 plus 0, I think. Only just 9 unique terminals and nothing, no additional terminals that you would like to aim for in order to get
Most
through.
of the time, as Neil is correct to do, it's correct to press this draw button. Because your hand probably won't get to the offense, and if you aren't really desperate for them, and he's not, last game he was 2nd place, so he can just go for more normal hands. He doesn't need to go for any crazy stuff that are unlikely.
Definitely. Tatsufa with a pretty crazy hand
Yeah.
shaped on the deal. Very easy way into a half flush if you want
Kyokyo
it.
though finds the 1 away. Sadly, it means dropping the Dora, but it could for sure shut down Tatu4's dream hand. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if to open or not.
それポン
chooses to
Besides
open. Also drops Dora. Likely going to go for the half flush as well.
Yeah, the value drops here a lot, but he realizes he's the dealer and speed is key. Meanwhile, Stimo and Neil seem really far from their competition. Now,
It's
Kyokyo
been a
did
very
a
tame
curious
hand
place.
so far.
Kyokyo dropped the 7 with the 7 ace just to force the pure double sequence. Maybe finally trying to go for value instead of speed. But I'm
Yeah,
not sure it's
that's
correct.
a good point. Very interesting decision, yeah.
We find a pair of it. He could now try to go for pairs or triplets instead. And he does. He doesn't want one to the normal
I think he's
hand.
going for
Could be
the
the concealed
Yakuman.
triplets, yeah. This could... He gets a Yakuman here. He's in an amazing spot for to get back into his spot.
Oh my god!
That's not the Yakuman yet. It does if he presses the Richie.
リーチ
Ah, that's sad. The
Oh,
Richie button means just taking a small hand here. Waiting would give him the Yakuman chance. It's very hard for a new player to know how to not press the Richie button.
yeah.
And most of the time it's bad to not press the Richie button. So, sadly, this is not even 3 concealed triplets. It's just pure double sequence. With high mini points.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Wow.
Nail foul. Stimoro also foul. Tatufo might chase him though. Especially as being the dealer.
I think Tatsuko will chase, yeah. Will end up chasing this. Nil, unfortunately, has the 2 of the 2 mod that Kyo is hoping for, and Nil is definitely playing safe. Folding a little bit on the Red Dragon instead of trying to keep it for his own
Tatufo
purposes.
getting cold
And
feet.
for-
He knew the first
No.
DM was good and he's not taking chances.
Yes, yeah.
Now, it's not easy to defend when you already have 2 cards in such an open hand. But Tatufo still tries to go for it. Stimoro gets the Dora getting cold feet and not dropping it. Tatufo getting a bit more chance to getting back to Tenpai, but it won't be real Tenpai. Again, the North is not his wind. He can only get fake Tenpais here by keeping the 6
Yep.
bits. To Kyokyo's
A little
defense,
stressful.
if he did not take Richie, he would still not get any tile that could give him the Yakuman. So maybe just saw into the wall, saw the possibilities, and took what he can get.
Very true, very true.
Players seem to be somewhat defending, but also trying to push, getting kind of lucky that Kyokyo has quite a bad weight.
Yeah, very unfortunate that the pair is locked up in Nil's hand.
Usually when you push like that versus a Richie, things don't go that well, but sometimes the Richie is just slow.
Yeah, some very fortunate draws, I would say, to be able to work around the win.
Will Tatufo great for Tenpai? He's getting close to draw.
Yeah, this around the time when you
Steve
have to decide.
Oh, that's the 8! That would have been the Yakuman Tenpai! Ah! Would have been nice. Would have been even crazier if that would have been the Tsumo. Okay, no, he would not get it. Okay, so it's fine.
Ah,
Would just been a cool opportunity.
yup, totally fine in the
脳
end.
天
I think he actually
惜しかった
earns more from the no 10 payments than he would otherwise.
Yeah, no one else seems to get the no 10, but this time Neil gets a triple Dora start and a very likely hand to make it work. While his competition,
Wow.
Stimoro, does not seem to have the best hand. Tatufo, not that bad, he can make it work. And Kyon, he has the Dragos, so I worry not.
Yup.
Stimoro though, his hand looks bad at the
Unfortunately-
start, but he got a really good draws.
Yup. Yeah. This triple door from Nil is stressing me out.
Yeah, let's see if he opens the hand to try to escalate things. You know, Stimoro just drew 2 red 5s back to back, making the slightly bad hand look not that bad anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not sure it's fast
Tomorrow's
enough.
hand to keep it up.
Good draw for Tatufo,
7 is
finishing
really
a
good.
sequence. Also Kyokyo.
Kyo finds the pair. I do wonder if Kyokyo is going to push this into
Half flush.
half flush.
Yeah. If we can get a bit more bamboo tiles, I could for sure see it happening. But he is the dealer. I'm not sure he should mess up a normal Tenpai to go for something far.
Definitely, yeah.
Ooh,
Take the
Neil-
value.
Neil does the very smart player of going towards the more Tanyo likely weight. This way he can open his hand, something he probably wants, but
Mhm.
maybe he will just draw the 6 bamboo or the 6 man and get 3 concealed triplets as well. And if that happens, I imagine Neil might not even press the Richie button if he's that advanced.
Yeah, I actually think for him with this hand, with triple Dora in hand, it's probably best if he doesn't get Ricci.
A lot of the good players do not press the Ricci button when they already have enough value and trying to make it somewhat of a trap. Ooh, he gets the Ricci. Will he take the 3 concealed
He hits the Ricci button.
Yeah. So
All
because
right.
the white is not that good here, some good players would not press the Ricci button. But remember, good points is very big here. Oh, and immediately gets it!
Kyokyo deals in!
Kyokyo was
Unlucky!
baited by Tenpai. And he immediately deals in.
一発単ヤオ
And that's
ドラ
Hanema.
3
Wow.
Neil showing us
Direct
all
Hanemon hit.
that with patience, he will find the big hands to make everything work.
Yeah. Nil started off very slow in the lobby overall with the rough beginning of the first game, but he managed to win some pretty big hands and makes a really big comeback.
And the situation looks bad for Kyokyo. No more dealer hands. Being right now dead last. Being dead last in the last game as well. And overall, I would say kind of unlucky because last game he looked in a good spot and suddenly everything changed.
Yeah, he had a very good, the hand was looking very quick, but just unfortunately going a little bit too fast meant that getting baited for Tenpai led to a deal in.
But we're forgetting a potentially big hand. I don't think he's that scared though. If we think about the scores right now, Kyokyo is it's hard to imagine him making a comeback right now. Neil and Tatufo are in great spots, and Steamoro, he needs to make something work. He needs right now more points, and he needs to get first place. Even if Tatufo gets third, with these kind of point values, it's not enough to get Steamoro back into the mix, because Tatufo had a good first game.
Yeah, this has been a very tame game in terms of point totals, combined with some better defense mixed with Kyokyo going for relatively low point hands. We're already in South 2, and the game itself is in reach, but the point totals are like not exorbitant like we've seen in other matches.
It's hard to read Tatufo's hand, but I can tell you he was one away before he dropped his 4 bamboo. But instead, he's keeping those honors, trying to make color hand work, and this would have been Tenpai for him. Not sure if he would have taken it, but yeah, he's a bit sad about
The
it
tears. Yep.
now. Neil's hand looks crazy. He's one away for pairs, but he can make very big other directions to them. But he is in first place, and he had a good last game. I'm not sure he's that much dead set on right now taking risks, especially versus Steamoro's Ricci.
Absolutely. This 5-8 Pinzu weight. Nil will definitely play around it, work around it.
And there's the door
Has a
drop.
lot of tiles that are that appear not appear pretty safe, but it should be pretty safe moving forward.
Ooh, Neil gets a good draw.
Not even baited.
But Neil plays extremely safe. Knows if I just fold and take things safe here, I get first or second, and I qualify. So
Exactly.
it does not take necessary risks, and I just keep going. Unnecessary, sorry. Steamoro's hand is
Absolutely.
small, but if it sumos on the 5 pin and somehow gets Ura 3 on his Nortals, it will already be Haneman. This is going to show how much one big Ricci can make to a small hand.
Definitely. Ricci's all about hitting that Ura underneath,
Tatufo not sure.
getting that value.
Decides to be patient.
Downside for
one
Stamaro
away.
yeah, Stamaro unfortunately only has like one sort of one tile left, because I don't see Kyokyo dropping his A pin or the 5 pin in his hand.
Tatufo, one away now. Tenpai, having to go for half flush though. Big decrease in value, but he's just looking at speed. I think he's waiting
Yes,
here for the
yep.
3 and 6 Manzu.
Wow.
Now, the other
Nil
players...
managed the sidestep.
Yeah, a player like Neil might be able to realize what Tatufo is doing, that he's going for color. Now this can could be a safety can. Sometimes a player like him could make a closed can right now, that's safe. Because if he drops this 5, he gets another draw. Ooh, will Kyokyo deals in?
Oh no.
リーチ
Oh,
Does
Kyokyo.
not.
Stay safe.
This is gonna be a draw. We just nil. Yeah, it's gonna be a draw. Just nil folding.
Alright. Yeah, Nil's totally fine with
脳
that.
天
That was a very scary hand
Yeah.
near the end.
The expert players do show they know defense. We've seen Tattoo for fold before. And Neil, even though sometimes we've seen them not fold, it seems like they still don't have the best reasoning of when and when not to fold, but they do know how to.
Yeah, exactly. They know when, or they know like what tiles end up being safe, but they don't necessarily know like, should I actually end up folding here, or is it safe for me to keep going?
And what do you do, Restimo? You get a bad hand like that, you just really force a red dragon hand because you need this win. You need this leader streak. And it's a bit hard to force something hand slow like this, but I don't think you have a choice.
Yeah, I think you just go for the red dragon and hope your next deal is significantly better.
And lucky for him, Kyokyo has a very fast hand, being already 2 away.
地
So Kyokyo
Unfortunately, yeah.
likes to open hands, goes for a full outside hand. So right now, he's not there yet, he's still in a few more outside tiles. He won't get to Tenpai. Ooh, but this could be it. If he drops the door right now,
Wait.
and then uses the one bamboo as a pair instead of triplet, it will be Tenpai.
Exactly, yeah.
Very low value though, makes you maybe question what Kyokyo is trying to do with his last few turns. Maybe just trying to get out of here a bit quicker. And that's Tenpai. Very sad for Stimo,
Yep.
and as I said, sometimes the last player, the last position player goes for something that's just bad for someone else, even though it doesn't help him at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You get in those situations even in rank where you're looking at the board and you're saying, hey, why if you're playing for like third place or like third, you're only playing for
That's
third,
it.
like what is the point?
ロン
Ah, yep.
This is
Just a
devastating
small
for Stimo, but at the
loss.
same time,
純
Neil
ちゃん
is not that far up ahead. He lost some points with the no 10 and he's lost some more now. If he's below 30k, we'll go to West. And if Stimo gets first place right now, and Neil gets something like third or fourth, Stimo can make an upset.
That is true. And Stamora has 3 shiny tiles in his hand right now.
Yeah, I wish it was faster though. It seems a bit
Yeah,
lacking blocks.
too many honors, single honors that are just very annoying.
Giant
They're
draw for
sitting
Tattoo
there.
4. Fusing the pawn, keeping it closed. And Kyokyo with a fast hand that, you know, if he hits Neil, might go to West.
Absolutely, yeah. Nil has a huge target on his back right now.
Yeah, a lot of players want to, aside from Tattoo 4, just want to hit him to extend.
Hmm. Exactly. But also Tasfa doesn't necessarily want himself to win exactly, because then the game just keeps going, which gives more opportunities for another player to swoop in from underneath him.
And Tattoo 4 should be scared. The first game he did not win with such a big lead that he can take a 4th place here. He can lose like 3k more points, and he might get 4th, and if tomorrow gets like 2nd or 1st, it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Steamroller getting a big draw, finishing a triplet, making this hand that looks unlikely, likely. He probably knows he can't take this pawn. He does refuse
Yeah.
it.
The temptation.
Steamroller using his timer well, trying to make the best efficiency choice, and it will get him far.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely love using time provided. It can feel bad. It's like, oh, like wasting my time and whatnot, but it is well worth the time to just take a moment and just think about what you want to do.
Big draw for Steamroller, going one away. Maybe not the best draw I wanted, because now getting to Tenpai is a bit rough. You're waiting on
Yeah.
2 pairs that are very unlikely to finish. His
Yes.
only
Yeah.
saving grace is this 5 bamboo. If this 5 bamboo finds a 4 or 6, he can drop the 2 7s and make this hand beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. I'm hoping for that as well.
Nail still struggling in 2 away Tenpai, and he does, Timur does get it. Will he see the 7-man drop, or will he drop something else instead? It's a bit hard, it doesn't have timer.
Oh, he drops the 8.
It's also fine. It won't get painful this way, but this keeps it as 1 away. It's basically, it weakens the hand, but keeps the same weight for it. And he finds the Richie, just click
And
it.
he hits.
リーチ
This Richie, giant force Timuro. He has 3 shiny tiles. He could have also had Pinfu, sadly not. And that's the deal-in. Will Kyokyo deal it? No, he has better tiles to drop.
Wow, this is gonna be a very stressful game.
Yeah,
The 1-mon Tatfo is safe, so he does have outs.
and Steamoro's hand is 8k points. And as I can show you, this would have been cool. Any run he takes gives him first place.
Yeah. Wow.
Same with any
this
with
is-
any Tsumo. If he gets first place here and Tatufo gets stuck with third, I can see this upset. Ooh, and another.
Oh no, another 5-mon stuck in Kyokyo's hand that he's not pretty much never gonna drop now.
Yeah, we're seeing most of Steamoro's tiles just stuck there. And
I also haven't been
Kyokyo
looking, but Kyokyo
is
is
one
almost
away
in.
from 4 concealed triplets again.
Yeah.
If you just keep sorting those 5s that Steamoro wants, you get the time. Tatufo going with the
Tatsuo
chase.
pushes.
Knows his dealer. And if he can win this hand, even though it's very weak, could make for an upset. Neil just probably trying to play safe, but also considering doing something else.
Such a chaotic hand.
Okay, not sure if to can. Decides not to. Everyone dropping that fast because they are in Tenpai. Neil, not in Tenpai yet.
Kyokyo might call
Not sure
this
if to
to
pawn,
get
it will be
Tenpai.
Tenpai. Thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Pong.
His
Yep,
chance of
looking
Yakuman
at
is
it.
really low right now, and the 5-man becomes double dealing. Oh, in it goes to Neil's hand. I doubt he will drop it, because I do think he gets Tenpai right now if he drops the 4-pin.
That's right. Nil's gonna play safe on this. Although the 4-pin looks quite dangerous to Tatufo. So he may
Inside-
sidestep.
Yeah, he decides to just play safe. 2 more
Yeah,
tiles to drop.
Choose
Pong.
choose to play Suji with the 8-pin instead.
And he does a hate bomb, you could say. Making the game go on even though he doesn't get Tenpai, just trying to get one of the players to deal in.
脳天。惜しかった。
Wow,
Now-
it's under 3,000 now.
Not only is under 3000, Tatufo did get a Tenpai, so we're still at South. But if no one gets above 30k with the next hand, and Tatufo is not Tenpai, it will be South, West. And very sad for Steamoro. This hand was his ticket to success, and somehow it was just not in the cards. Kyokyo stole all the 5s. Such a stressful game.
I think Kyokyo is in the position, recognizes the position that they're in, and is going to try and go for some of these large monster hands to try instead of try and come back from this position, which will be absurdly hard, absurdly difficult to do.
Kyokyo could still get the first place here. There's a lot of Richie sticks on the board, and he's 1 away. I don't think a first place with such little points will be enough, but he might just take it. He gets very close to Tenpai. Golden 1 away. Would love nothing more than getting right now a Pinfu. Maybe even not clicking Richie with it and finishing this game.
Yeah,
Steamoro
keeping it Dama, keeping it quiet.
Steamoro really wants this Tenpai, but he's just far. It's hard to imagine him getting it before others.
Yeah,
Ooh, and that's the
Tatufo.
pearl on the red dragon, that's the Dora. He gets that. He has his gate for value.
チー。
that would be crazy if he's able to make a hand with the red dragon there.
I'm not sure what Kyokyo is doing, but he threw away his value, and possibly his speed as well. And Neil does exactly
Unfortunate.
what we said. He knows about not clicking Richie. He's on a Dama hand. It will be worth less points, but the players don't know that he's in Tenpai. And winning this hand at anyhow he wins this game, he does get first place in his group. So
Exactly.
he knows he does not need the Richie, and he'd rather be keep quiet here.
That's right. Tatufo has the option to set up the Suji trap with the 7-1. Oh, no Jetsumos it anyways. Ends the game right here.
Steamoro does get second place, but I don't think it's enough. The likely people to keep on to the next round are actually the 2 expert players. Maybe expected, maybe not.
hmm This was a very tame game compared to some of the previous lobbies that
Yeah.
we've seen.
Those 2 lobbies, no big wins, no big losses. Everyone just around the 20k mark.
Yeah, nothing like the 81,000 points that Sona was able to end one of their games with.
Now give me a second. I'm gonna calculate the last few scores. Neil making a big comeback. We did see at the start that everything seemed like good. A lot of good players would get demoralized there and just start playing bad. But Neil managed to keep his cool and found his luck elsewhere. Now, unlike last game, I don't think the scores are gonna be that close. So you can be able to imagine who made it and who not. But we'll get the exact scores in just a bit. Okay. Here's this. Sadly, the math isn't as easy because of all the points there is.
This was a very close final set.
Yeah, yesterday was a lot less close, but we can see like it really depends on the game. Sometimes you have like clear winner, clear loser, and sometimes everyone will be neck and neck.
Definitely, yeah. I think unfortunately for Kyo, they got a little too call happy and ended up suffering as a result.
Okay, I'm gonna show the final scores now of this group. So there we have it. We have Neil taking first place with 43.6 points, but just having two solid games. Well, I see the first place guy just having solid games, not going for anything crazy, but just keeping at it, keeping like at the top scores. 3-4. Maybe not have the best second game, but his first game was good enough that he got out positive. And Stimoro, sadly, he was really close to it. He almost had that one final hand that could have made everything work out, but somehow it just didn't work. And because of that, he can't qualify. Kion, that looked really nice in the first game, got two bad games somehow. Again, was close to two good games. In each of those games, he was probably one gun away from changing everything. But that's how Mahjong goes. And he got the last bullet, taking very heavy minus points for being fourth place, giving him a total of minus 60.8. So
definitely, the final score looks a lot worse than how close the games actually were, unfortunately. But that's the way it is when we have the UMA, the placement points.
So now we know our semi-finalists. Let me just type them all neatly here. Okay. Do you think I have it? This should show it. Yeah. So from the first group, we have from the first group of yesterday, you have Sona and Superior going forward. Sona also holding the highest style title. We didn't really see that many big hands today. People were going for more conserved hands, small ones, or maybe just mangans or hanemans. From Group B, also yesterday, Shouchan and Borkus. Two silver players, I believe. So you might be thinking those silver players got hands. Should be careful. From today's early group, again, also not expert players. I've seen a lot of good players qualify, just having really good games. Mizukaze had crazy game, and Passant with his crazy comeback, even though he's only Office 3, is showing that he kinda knows how to play this game. And from our big scary group, with all the expert 3s, both of the expert 3s just keep on going. Probably due to the hard principles, getting a bit lucky, but also just having good odds with their solid plays. So all of these players, you'll be able to see them compete probably next weekend or in another time. I'll update if someone for some reason can't. And they will compete on their chance of getting to the finals. The players who do make it to the finals will then have one less day of doing 3 or 4 more games, and they will compete for $20 for third place, $50 for second place, and $100 for first place. If the first place for some reason also got the biggest hand, you get a whopping $130. So, big stakes for this Mahjong tourney. Even though the players are not that high of a skill level, the rewards could be good. So, I hope all of them won't suffer any tragic accidents, and we'll see them again in the semifinals. And yeah, I think that's it for today's group. Do you have any closing thoughts, Typewriter?
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure being able to watch these up and coming Mahjong stars play, coming over from the ERBS community, dipping their toes and trying their hand at Mahjong. Definitely a completely different style of game, but still being able to apply some of the tendencies of how aggressive they want to be, and seeing if they can take down things like the high scoring hand in the matches upcoming.
I always get surprised every time and again when I see just how many Mahjong members and Mahjong playing persons are like in the ERBS community. When I started playing this game, it seems like such a niche game that you're probably gonna be playing with some old Japanese grandpas. Like, you don't really think that suddenly like you're gonna be in like a random small community Discord like Eternal Return, and so many players are just, yeah, I play it, I also play it. Like, a lot of them are in the more early ranks, but people are just playing it casually and having fun. This is a great game to just play for fun. You don't need to think about it too hard. Going for the too high ranks maybe involve a bit too much math for some of the players, but just pressing the Trichi button gives good dopamine.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching. We will be back with the semi-finals probably next weekend, and I'll update if it will be another date, and finals after that. So thanks guys. See ya on the semis. Bye bye. Thanks, Typewriter.